The crowds are out in full force on Bourbon Street, celebrating the unimaginable. The Saints have won Super Bowl 44.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Woltering.
And I'm Angela Hill. The New Orleans Saints have made history tonight, winning the franchise's first Super Bowl ever.
They beat the Indianapolis Colts 31-17. Bigad Shaban is live from Arno's balcony on Bourbon Street, and it has to be a wild scene out there, huh, Bigad? Bigad, can you hear us?
Dennis and Angela, the Saints have won the Super Bowl, and the fans have come marching in, packing Bourbon Street to the brim. There is no space for anything other than happiness, enthusiasm, and a lot of magic here on Bourbon. It is just remarkable what we're seeing right now. Every crevice of Bourbon Street packed to the brim. We're seeing strangers hugging strangers, families embracing, people in tears, rejoicing on just how special this moment is. Clearly not just a win for the Saints, but a win for the entire city of New Orleans. And you can feel the energy here tonight. People throwing beads, people just with a smile on their face that I'd imagine will not fade anytime soon. This is a moment that this city has been waiting for 43 years, and I can guarantee you the magic of tonight will not fade anytime soon. Just really a remarkable sight here in the French Quarter from on top of Arno's balcony, live here in the French Quarter. We'll send it back to you, Dennis and Angela.
And Bigad, the streets were empty. Was this like the NFC Championship game where the streets were empty, and then when the team won, everyone just surged out into the streets?
You know, it's a little different than last time, Dennis. Last time I remember it being completely bare and then just people running out. But actually, people started running out on the streets tonight earlier on in the game when it became clear to a lot of people that the Saints were going to win. And they were rejoicing probably about 15 minutes before the game actually ended. People waving flags, people just screaming, dancing. We even saw the second line coming down Bourbon Street with a marching band. People just holding hands, complete strangers, just dancing in the streets. That's how we celebrated in New Orleans, and we certainly saw that tonight.
From that interception on, I bet that's what it was all about. In the streets, we won, and we won big.
It was like that in the newsroom. People were jumping up and down and screaming and hugging and going crazy. It was unbelievable.
It is crazy all over town.
Absolutely.
And Scott Shanle is live from Lucy's Retired Surfers Bar in the Warehouse. Scott.
Obviously, the scene speaks for itself here in the Warehouse District. It's really been a crazy night all evening long, but obviously, once this one was in the books, fans here absolutely erupted. Police had to block off the streets here on Tchoupitoulas, and you can see why. People are elated. Disbelief is the word that I would go with right now. Disbelief and jubilation. I'll just let this go for a second. Throughout the evening here at Lucy's bar here in the Warehouse District, basically folks inside, outside, you can see they projected the game on a big screen outside. It's basically a huge block party that just got quite a bit bigger. And folks here, we've seen tears, we've obviously seen a lot of cheering, police officers high-fiving fans, and again, people just in disbelief. Again, it's tough for me to hear you guys, so for now, I'm going to send it back to the studio.
Don't worry about ever hearing us. Let me tell you, the people are screaming throughout this state.
Absolutely.
It isn't just,
people are driving around honking horns. It's just people can't express themselves enough. That's the kind of thing
it is. It isn't just here. I talked to my sister who lives in Kingsville, Texas. She was crying. Guy in Ohio calls. He's crying.
We got a text from Doug Mouton, crying like a baby.
Good.
A lot of people are doing that. Paul Murphy live from the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. I imagine it's pretty wild out there too, Paul, huh?
Dennis and Angela, the atmosphere is electric here at the corner of Orleans and Broad Street. The members of Zulu cheered from the opening coin toss all the way to that Tracy Porter interception. Joining me, King Zulu 2010, Mr. Jimmy Felder. Talk about the atmosphere here at Zulu. How important this is to Zulu.
This is super great. I couldn't ask for something to happen to me in my life at this point in time. King of Zulu 2010, winning the Super Bowl in 2010. This is awesome, man. I am telling you, I am so excited. As you can see the fans behind me, we are ready to roll Mardi Gras. I know the Saints are going to have their party parade Tuesday. But come this Mardi Gras Day, we're ready.
Now you're going to have some of the Saints players rolling in Zulu, I understand.
Yes, we will. We're going to have Deuce McAllister, Lance Moore, Derek Henderson, Marcus Colston, and one other we're going to have at the game. And they're going to be riding in our parade this morning.
And take a look at some of the throws that you can catch in Zulu this year. It's a special Super Bowl, black and gold Super Bowl football that you could be a lucky person to catch in the parade. Also, they have these coconuts, black and gold coconuts. Yeah. What'd you think of the game?
I think it was a beautiful game. Well played by the Saints. Because they figured the Saints was not going to win it. They had all the faith in Peyton Manning, but the world had been shot. The Saints done won the Super Bowl.
No, I sat next to you during most of the game. You look a little worried during that first half.
But the first half was kind of rough because there was a whole lot of missed tackles. But they finally got their act together and start playing like a professional.
Right. Thank you. Had a good time here in Zulu tonight. Now back to you in the studio, Dennis, Angela.
Okay.
It was a little nerve-wracking. That first quarter especially,
Was
but
rough.
toward the end of the second quarter, they got things together and things started,
They came out of the locker room motivated.
I'm telling you, hearts are racing though all over the place. We're going to go now to Lucy Bustamante in Florida at Fort Lauderdale at the Shuck and Dive Bar, a favorite hangout for Hoodats who have taken over that area. Is that right, Lucy?
People cannot be in New Orleans, and to them, this is the next best place to be. It was almost like a New Year's celebration for them. The second that the interception happened, people just started crumbling, crying, hugging a stranger. Go ahead, this is all yours, guys. Go. Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? We're going to show you what it was like at the beginning of the day when all the Hoodats arrived. Take a look.
Danny Stasi planned and they showed up, dressed for an event they have never experienced, yet always knew would come.
The Houdat Nation is here. We come here, it took a long time, 44 years, why not?
Today is Super Bowl 44, and the owner of Shuck and Dive in Fort Lauderdale gave the locals a place that felt just like home for those who wanted to follow the Saints to Florida.
It's awesome. I mean, it's like New Orleans in Florida. It's incredible.
He had an oyster shucking station to keep them entertained, while half a ton of crawfish boiled. Anything New Orleans goes here.
I think the Saints fans are the best fans ever. I mean, look at us. We're all out here. You don't see Colts fans representing like we are. It's just not happening anywhere.
Nothing like celebrating the...
We played for so much more than just ourselves. We played for our city. We played for the entire Gulf Coast region. We played for all the entire Houdat Nation who was behind us, you know, every step of the way. And what can I say? We've been blessed with so much, and just to have this opportunity is unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely. That's probably a good comparison, a good parallel. You know, we've had plenty of games this year where we've gone down at some point in the game, early, fourth quarter, whatever it might be, and you just continue to believe that you know, you're going to find a way to win. And sure enough, we trusted in one another. Offense got it going. Had some big possessions there in the second half. You know, neither team got a whole lot of possessions just because we both possessed the ball a lot, converting first downs. Not a lot of big plays were given up in this game because both defenses do a good job of that. And so, you know, really, we knew that we were going to have to move the ball, take advantage of the opportunities that we were given, but really be patient and just kind of take what they give us and move the ball and score points when we get the opportunity. You know, getting stopped on fourth down there in the second quarter was tough, but then defense got it right back for us. We at least had an opportunity at a 2-minute drive to go down and get some points to gain some momentum going into halftime. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I mean, you know, 4 years ago, whoever thought this would be happening? You know, when 85% of a city was underwater, all of its residents evacuated to places all over the country. You know, most people not knowing if New Orleans would ever come back or if the organization or the team would ever come back. But not only did the organization come back and the city come back, and so many players that are our core group of players came in that year as free agents, and we just all looked at one another and said, you know, we're going to rebuild together. You know, we're going to lean on each other. And that's what we've done here for the last 4 years, and this is the culmination of all that belief and that faith. Listen, we've got, our head coach is unbelievable now. You know, not only as an offensive guru, you know, a guy who is a great play caller, an aggressive play caller, a confident play caller, and a guy who can instill all of those traits into his players, but just as a coach who has to manage so much, you know, and does it with class and is very fair. But, you know, there's nobody that I wanted to win this championship for more than Sean Payton. And the opportunity that he gave me to be there, as well as gave a lot of other guys to be there. But just because of, I know how much he has invested and how much, just all the little things that don't go unnoticed for a guy like me who's been around now for 9 years and been with some great coaches and been with some great players, but there's none better than him. And you know, the type of, not only coach he is, but type of person he is, the type of family man he is, and just what he instills in all of his players. He makes us better players, but he also makes us better men. Like I said before, you know, I felt like coming.
Welcome to Sun Life Stadium, where the Saints are the Super Bowl champions. I'm with linebacker Scott Shanle. How's it look?
It looks great. It looks great. I look up there, see the score, Super Bowl champions with the Saints logo by it. A lot of people never thought they'd see the day. It's here.
But this team, you guys in that locker room, you believed.
Absolutely, we believed. You know, all the way back in April and May when we were just getting together as a team, you could sense there was a chemistry on this team that was built to win a championship. And we came together, all the guys care about each other so much, and nobody cares about who gets the credit. We just want to win, and we're world champions.
Defense certainly played a huge role in the second half. Went into the locker room at halftime down, went into the fourth quarter down 17-16. Tracy Porter, huge pick against the Vikings. Unbelievable pick tonight.
It was a great play by Tracy. All week, you know, all week we listened to how it wasn't a matter of how close it was going to be. I mean, it was a matter of how much Indy was going to beat us. And as a defensive player, you put that chip on your shoulder and you bring it into the game. We've done it all year. Guys have stepped up and made plays when they've had to make them. And it was a great play by Tracy at a key time in the game.
I think the fans that are still in this stadium who just don't want to leave, you must feel for what they've been through.
I do feel. I mean, last August, we had our team luncheon, and I said, you know, if there's any city or organization that deserves a world championship, nobody deserves it more than New Orleans. And the support they've given us throughout the year, they're going to have to kick them out of the stadium, I think. They're not going to want to leave. We don't want this night to end either, but, you know, Tuesday, I'm sure, when we have that parade and we have that Lombardi Trophy with us, there's going to be a lot of people out there.
You know, once a gambler, always a gambler, and quite frankly, your head coach is just a gambler. Goes for it on fourth down, inside the 2, didn't make it, didn't hesitate one bit to pull off the onside kick. How did you feel that changed momentum?
Well, he told us at halftime we were going to do it. Guys were excited. It's been our MO all year. We're aggressive offensively, defensively, special teams. And that's just who we are. We're aggressive. We're willing to take chances. And it turned out tonight it helped us win a world championship.
Did you feel it changed the momentum?
Absolutely. It changed the whole dynamic of the game. Instead of us going out there defensively, their offense getting out on the field, our offense trots out there, gets 7 points, changes the whole complexion of the game.
How will you celebrate tonight?
I'm going to get back to the hotel, celebrate with my family. We're going to have a huge reception, family and friends. And, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of memories talking about what went on this year. And just a lot of guys that are thankful for having one another there with them all year.
Scott Shanle, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well done.
Thanks.
Go ahead. Go be with your team. Scott Shanle.
Oh, I mean, that's crucial.
This is what we worked so hard for, and it's hard to describe the feeling. But I couldn't be more proud of our players, everybody in the front office, coaches, and all the people back in New Orleans that waited so patiently for one of these. I know I speak for everyone to say that we're excited to deliver, and I'm sure they're having a good time on Bourbon Street tonight. I thought our preparation during the week was good. I thought the second half was key. Guys hung in there. We made enough plays and came up with a big win, and it was a good team effort. Well, you know, we were down there close in the second quarter, and we had talked about being aggressive coming into this game. You know, credit Indianapolis, they had a good stand there on fourth down, and, you know, fortunately we were able to hold them and force them to punt. We were able to come back and get the field goal before the end of half. In fact, the last play of the half. You know, all week we'd practiced that onside kick, and, you know, at halftime I just told those guys, you know, you got to make me look right here. It was a good hit by Thomas. You know, our guys did a good job of showing a normal kickoff covered look, but it was something that we had seen and practiced all week. You know, you get a little nervous. There's a lot going on the week of the Super Bowl, and the key was, you know, the kicker. Thomas hit it good. You know, guys recovered, and we were able to take advantage of it and get 7 points, and that really becomes like a turnover. We made it. You know, we knew we were going to call it at some point, and we made the decision we were going to do it at halftime. I just told them, hey, we're going to open up the second half with this. Let's go make a play. And then, you know, we have enough time at halftime with the schedule where we were able to put together another set of openers. You know, guys handled them well. Brees was magnificent tonight. He just played so well, so efficient. I thought we blocked him pretty good. Gave him time. We had the one sack, but this is pretty strong right here. Can't describe how it feels. I think you know, I just think it's important that you know, certainly you have a plan, you're careful, and yet you're going to be you want to show your players you're confident. You know, all week long we felt you know, we really felt as underdogs we had the better team. You know, we don't really look at who's favored or who's not, but we really, as a coach, felt, you know, to be in that position, maybe where a lot of people were picking against us, and you know, we felt we liked the spot we were in, and I thought they handled it well all week long. The practice schedules and all the other things that come up, and a lot was made of their inexperience, but I thought we handled it fantastic. Well, yeah, listen, you know, there's a lot of grit, a lot of determination with the people in that city and that region, and, you know, they fought so hard, and this is what makes it uniquely different. And we've been down at other times this year. You know, we got a lot of poise, quarterback and defense. You know, we came up with some key stops in the second half, and those proved pivotal. Well, just happy. You know, this is what you work so hard for, and this is a team, an organizational trophy that represents so much tradition, and you know, we're honored, and certainly I'm honored to be a part of it, and real proud of these guys. Well, the time of possession was going to be important. You know, and what we were trying to do is create an additional series, which we were able to do. And, you know, our guys did a good job executing the play. But certainly you want to minimize his snaps. And, you know, we were able to do that to some degree. But he's a heck of a player. Well, I think I know not only the city, but the whole region is going to appreciate this trophy, and I just wish we could split it up to a lot of little pieces to give to everybody, but they're a part of it, and like I said, I'm happy to be part of it as well. I just did. Pardon? I thought Drew was magnificent tonight, you know, and certainly it's a part, he's talked all year, it's a part of the resume and the career of a quarterback, a great player. And he prepared outstanding, and, you know, he knew he was going to have to play well. He handled a lot of the offense at the line of scrimmage. We had a lot of multiple packages, and we had time to do that. He handled it extremely well. And when you look at his location tonight, you know, I thought he was fantastic, and he has been all year. You know, if you really pay close attention to what he's accomplished, he's the MVP tonight, and certainly one of the most valuable players in our league. I can't hear you. Well, I think our league, you know, is full of players, coaches. You know, all of us come from all different programs, size schools. You know, I've just been fortunate to be around a lot of good people to teach me how to win, and you know, I feel privileged really to have had experience to be at a lot of good places and a lot of people that that touch these players' lives. You know, it makes them happy tonight, and certainly the people that were able to touch my life. Come on, Peter. We felt during the week it was more than 60-70% chance of recovery based on the look. We felt real, not good, we felt real good, to the point where we had actually talked about it with the officials, and they said, well, you know, if you do it, what's it going to look like? And I said, it's not if, we're going to. It's going to be from a balanced look and our normal kick approach. And, you know, Thomas did a great job. It's something we spent some time on last week and practiced it a little this week. You get a little nervous when you practice something like that, you know, the week of the Super Bowl with everyone that's at practice. But the execution was good. It was great. They made me look good. I was in on the scrum. No, our guys did a good job in getting on it and falling on it, and Chris Reese did a great job, clearly came up with it.
You know, from day one, you know, I knew we had something special here when I first got here. You know, when I was drafted here, and you know, I first took my tour of New Orleans and I saw all the destruction, I knew that we could be part of something bigger than football. And, you know, I think today was about that. It was about the rebuilding process of New Orleans. It was about the Saints. It was about the city of New Orleans, the people, the lives lost in Hurricane Katrina. And, you know, now New Orleans can exhale a little bit.
Does it make it more special to you than the wins at USC?
I think it makes us more special because in the fashion that we did it and the city that we did it for. Like I said, they're a city that was pretty much destroyed in a hurricane, and you know, they need something to be proud of. You know what? And through all the 30, 40 years plus of terrible seasons, you know, here in New Orleans, now they can exhale. Now they can be proud of the Saints.
What's your message to them?
You know what? We love you guys. We love the city of New Orleans, and we're gonna go back home and celebrate. Bring the Lombardi Trophy. We're going to party like we're supposed to.
Hey, Reggie, you've been around New Orleans for a few Mardi Gras now.
Yeah.
Is this Super Bowl celebration going to supersede any Mardi Gras they've ever
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it's going to be the craziest Mardi Gras, but as it should be. You know, it's well-deserved. The city of New Orleans deserves it, and, you know, nobody can ever take this away from us. We're part of history, and it's not just us, not just the Saints. It's the city of New Orleans. We're all a part of history.
For those of us who will never get to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, what does it feel like to hoist that beautiful trophy?
It feels great. You know what? This is what I dreamed of. You know, literally had dreams of hosting that trophy up someday. You know, like I said, once I first got here, I knew it would come someday. And when it happened, it was special, but I wasn't surprised because I knew it was going to come. You know, this is a team of fate, of destiny. You know, God had a bigger plan than all of us. You know, a plan that we couldn't see 3-4 years ago, you know. And, you know, here we are, and it's special. You know, I told Hargrove before the game, that God has blessed him because of where he was at, a year ago, and to be where he is now. I told him just take it all in, man, because God has definitely blessed him, and God had a plan for him, and something he couldn't see, last year, and that's what it's all about. It's all about making dreams come true.
Was this greater than the national champion victory? Was this greater than the heist of all those things you've done in the past?
This is definitely greater than that because, like I said earlier, because of what the city of New Orleans had to go through in Hurricane Katrina and all the lives lost and all the destruction and people who moved away. This is what it's all about. It's part of the rebuilding process, and I truly believe that. Now the city of New Orleans can exhale a little bit, and we're good. But it's not the job is not done yet. We won the Lombardi Trophy, and we're bringing the trophy home, but the job isn't done yet. There's so much more that's needed down there, and we're just so happy to be a part of history and be happy to be a part of this, because this is history right here.
Did the people of New Orleans make you stronger as a team? I know it's an abstract question.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
They definitely have a place in all of our hearts, and I would say they definitely, are there with us when we're on the football field. Every time we take the field, they're right there with us. And, I could definitely agree with that statement that, they make us stronger. We've fought through some tough times, in these past 4 years. We went to the NFC Championship game our rookie year. We lost to Chicago Bears. We were, a half away from, playing the Colts for the first time in the Super Bowl. And, then the next year to lose 4 games straight and then to come back and win 4 games. Like I said, we've just been through some tough times. And it feels great, man. I appreciate it so much more because of the workload it took to get here.
What would you say if you had a better...
We didn't, even though Peyton's an explosive.
A very, very happy Reggie Bush, who had a tremendous game. And it was so interesting listening to Sean Payton. I don't know if you got to see Juan Kincaid's wonderful series that he did about Sean Payton growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But he went to his friends, and they could tell the leadership back then in high school.
Yeah.
And for that man to cry up there at that moment, so meaningful.
Very emotional for the whole area.
Oh.
And they talk about doing this for the community and how it helps the recovery. And I think a lot of people, everyone here feels that. I mean,
we do
really
feel
is.
that.
And Sean Payton talked about the poise, the poise of Drew Brees and the other members of the team. This team has poise and class, and they never did give up. They never stopped believing. And that was the difference in this team, from what I could see.
When he said grit and determination,
right,
he's talking about the team, and he's also talking about the community.
That's exactly
We have
right.
grit and we have determination.
And we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Super Bowl post-game coverage on Channel 4 is brought to you by your Rouses, your Southern quality Ford dealers, Cox, Crystal Hot Sauce, your Louisiana Coastal Cadillac dealers, and River Parish Disposal.
Loyalty. It's the cornerstone of the Toyota brand, and it's one reason why Toyota has the best resale value of any brand for 2010, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. In fact, Tacoma has the best resale value in its class. Right now, we're rewarding Toyota owners with $1,000 in owner loyalty cash on new Tacomas or any other Toyota of your choice. And everyone is eligible to receive 0 APR on a new 2010 Tacoma. To see why there's no comparison, visit buyatoyota.com.
There's so much to see.
And a whole lot to enjoy. Expand your options. Make life
More entertaining. Rent movies.
Catch up on those shows. Watch whatever you want. Whenever you want. Watch the world. Watch it all.
Subscribe to Cox Standard Cable and receive Cox Digital Cable free for 6 months with on-demand, My Primetime, and 100% free HD channels. Call 333-6454.
It's brilliantly
better.
I'm Al Balmer Jr., president of Balmer Foods Incorporated, maker of the world-famous Crystal Hot Sauce. Since 1923, when my dad and mom started making Crystal right here in New Orleans, we have been shipping over 2 million gallons of our hot sauce annually to more than 75 countries around the world. Thank you for using Crystal Hot Sauce to add a dash of Louisiana spice and flavor to your life. Crystal is proud to be the official hot sauce and #1 fan of the New Orleans Saints.
When something happens out here,
People get hurt. As a pilot and former offshore worker, I've seen what can happen. As an attorney, I fight hard for the rights of injured offshore workers so they get the money they deserve and can take care of their families. Because out here, sometimes you don't get a second chance. I make sure my clients do.
When Lewis St. Martin takes your case, you can take care of what's important. Call 1-800-222-3984 today.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the Houdat Nation, celebrating what was unthinkable even a year ago.
Absolutely.
The Saints winning the Super Bowl.
This is so magical.
It's
And magical
tremendous.
here, magical on the street, magical definitely in Florida. And let's go over now to Mike Hoss, who has Governor Jindal.
Thank you very much, Dennis and Angela, with Governor Bobby Jindal. And, you know, a victory does a lot of things, and certainly one of the things on your mind is how we're going to get kids to school tomorrow.
Absolutely. I got young kids. I know they're not sleeping. I know they're watching TV. But, yes, they got to go to school tomorrow. That's my 3 little kids at home. But what a great victory tonight. Our first Super Bowl victory shows the world that New Orleans and Louisiana are coming back better than before. So proud of this team. I was predicting a 10-point victory. They got it done by 14. Everybody thought I was crazy. They all said, no, it'll be 3 or 4 points. What a great team. And you know what's great? They're great off the field as well as on the field. I had a chance to talk to Drew Brees and his wife after the game, and I told them we were so grateful. They are such great ambassadors for Louisiana. They're involved in rebuilding. They're involved in charitable work. I made one request. I said, build your retirement home in Louisiana. I want you to stay here. I want you to grow old. I don't want you to even think about leaving our state.
Did you have any bets with any other politicians on the other side?
Absolutely did. I'm glad that you asked that. The governor of Indiana, who's actually at the game, I saw him right before the game, right here at the middle of the field. We actually met and visited for a while. We bet him last week. I said, when we beat the Indianapolis Colts, we're going to be sending him a Houdat Nation flag. They've got to fly that in Indiana. He can fly it over the Capitol. He can fly it over the mansion. He can fly it over his state car. But they got to fly it, and they got to send us a picture. It's going to be a Houdat Nation flag sent up to Indiana so they can fly that flag, showing the Houdat Nation prevails in 50 states across this country.
The key is now, from your side, how do you capitalize? Certainly there was a lot of worldwide attention. We were in the parking lot today, trailer after trailer. England, Australia. How does Louisiana capitalize on this victory?
You know, I want to thank the Saints organization. They have been great about this. The Department of Economic Development has worked with them. You've got media from all over the world here. Every single one of them got an economic development packet showing how Louisiana is changing. Cut taxes, revamped ethics. All these people taking notice of New Orleans and Louisiana because of the Saints will now have a chance to also see that it's a great place to do business, a great place to live. For 3 years in a row, we've had more people come into Louisiana more quickly than they left. First time in 20 years. We can build on that momentum. The Saints story shows we persevered. Overcame 4 hurricanes, overcame the national recession. And that is a great opportunity to get companies to take a second look. Companies that may not have thought of Louisiana before. We've had 2 great economic years compared to the rest of the country, but this gives us one more chance. And I do want to thank the Saints organization. They helped us get that economic development message to every media organization that was here, national and international.
Governor, go enjoy.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Governor Bobby Jindal. Certainly, if you had to pick places to be tonight, this would be number 1. New Orleans would be number 2, and maybe a bar in Fort Lauderdale called Shuck and Dive would be number 3. I've been there before, and my good friend Lucy Bustamante is there, and I can't imagine what kind of night it is over there, Lucy.
Oh, Mike, you need to be here. Somebody wants to tell you hi over here. Hey, Mike! Hey, Mike! Hey, Mike! You got your coat on? That is Danny Stasi, the man who made Fort Lauderdale into an extension of New Orleans. Take a look at the scene here. This is the amount of people left over after about 500 people plus were here tonight. And I need to show you something very special. Do you remember Jim Henderson said that the Saints will win the Super Bowl when the pigs fly? There's the pig flying for you. And everyone here decided to name the crawfish that survived.
That's the last one. Houdat!
Houdat the crawfish. I am now wearing a Houdat cap thanks to the Trish family. because of the champagne that they broke and started to spray all over the crowd. There we go. What do you have here? This is the turf we won on, right here. Right here, turf we won on, a piece of the turf. Mike, like you said, if you cannot be home, you might as well be here. Back to you.
We're going to go all out in this game. Try the onside kick. Beginning of the third quarter.
Wow. I knew it would be fun out there, and they are having a good time in Fort Lauderdale as they are here. We're in Miami Gardens. We're somewhat between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, but the party is just beginning, and I can assure you we'll be covering it throughout the night. If that's what we have to do, then we have to cover the party throughout the night.
Heck yes, we'll just do it.
You know, you have to have lived through the 3 and 13s, the 7 and 9s, the 6 and 10s to appreciate it. Again, how do you feel?
I feel drained. I feel numb. I feel just so content and so happy for the people of New Orleans and all the people down through the years that followed this team in all the bad times, to be rewarded like this, to think that in 2005 we went through the very worst of times, and 4.5 years later we're going through the very best of times, and maybe they feel better because we went through such horrible times in 2005.
I didn't recall that football was this emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tears and celebration, and you feel for someone else's celebration. It didn't always be this way.
I know, and I still can't wrap my arms around it. I think Katrina had a lot to do with it, and I think obviously the Saints' lack of success down through the years, but I've heard so many people say, I wish I could share this with my father. I wish I could have shared this with my grandfather. It's a special time.
Let's talk a little football, because certainly the first quarter was exactly the way the Colts had scripted it. Peyton had, and the Colts had 8 first downs. They had none in the second quarter, as you felt this defense got its feet underneath them.
Yeah, I think early in the game, it looked like the Saints had some opening night jitters. The Colts just moved the ball down the field, Peyton pushing all the right buttons. But you really got to give Garrett Hartley a lot of credit. You know, the field goals that he made, any one of which, if he missed them, would have really taken a lot of momentum away from this team. But he kicks that 46 and 44-yarder in the second quarter, and which the Saints pretty much reversed the statistics of the first quarter that the Colts dominated. And even though they trail going into halftime 10-6, I would think the message at in the halftime locker room is, hey, look, we're right in this thing. We've only scored 6 points. We're going to score a lot more than that with this offense, and we're within striking distance. And then the call, never having attempted an onside kick since 2006 in that game against Dallas that the Saints won in Dallas, when Billy Cundiff was the onside kicker and Jay Bellamy recovered, to pull that out of the hat and make it work to begin the third quarter just showed the way that Sean Payton and this team has always played. Pedal to the metal. They're not going to play with any sort of short stick when the pressure's on. They're going to play as the aggressor, and they did, and that pretty much set the tone for the second half.
Especially when you consider that he had just gone for it on 4th down inside the 2 and didn't make it. You talk about a gamble that paid off big. Had it not paid off, wow. I mean, as I've talked to players tonight, once a gambler, always a gambler.
Yep, and that's the way he has played the game. And I mean, everybody had a chance to second guess those calls. The Saints very seldom run the ball on 3rd and goal. I think the statistics we had up in the booth is they've thrown the ball on 3rd and goal like 84% of the time. They go down there and run it 3 times and don't get in. The footing's a little treacherous. The Colts have a lot of speed and can flow to the football whenever you run wide. And all of a sudden it looks like, boy, that really could have cost us the game. But instead it just reinforced the fact that the Saints were going to play to win. And that's exactly what they did from that point on. Not all the gambles worked, that one didn't, but certainly the onside kick did, and all the other buttons that Sean Payton pushed in the second half pretty much did as well. I'm just so happy for this organization and so happy for these fans that have waited 44 years for this.
And you can still see them. I don't know, Bob, if you have even the opportunity. I mean, they used to be in this corner. Now just look at them. You can take a peek back there. They just... Reminds me of Philadelphia when they won a couple of years ago. They just don't want to leave. They want to savor this, as you say, 43 years. Until somebody says, get out of the stadium, they're not leaving.
Or get out of the French Quarter or go home. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon either. These people deserve it so much. I mean, I wasn't in the stands. You were on the sideline. I was up in the booth. But I would have to imagine it almost felt like a home game to the Saints. The support for the Saints here was maybe 10-1 as far as the support for the Colts. They were so loud. The Who Dat cheers and pregame warm-ups. I don't think you can give enough credit to these fans, how they have pushed this team to the brink and beyond.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, when it was 10-0, Saints kicked a field goal to make it 10-3, and something I didn't think I'd hear in a Super Bowl of an objective game was they played crunk.
Yes.
They played the halftime song Crunk when it was 10-3, and I said, uh-oh, and things changed from that point. So that song got a little magic in it.
I heard that too, and you heard Mardi Gras music and stuff in here. Whoever controlled the buttons to decide what music was to be played might have been from the Ninth Ward.
Very well, very well. Doug Mouton has been talking with some Saints fans, victorious Saints fans. He joins us now with more. Doug?
The Houdat still celebrate inside Dolphin Stadium. You don't even have to cue them. How good does this feel?
Great. I lived on Audubon Street next to Tulane Stadium. I remember the first kickoff. This is unbelievable.
Tracy Porter picks off that ball. Come on. What is going on?
That's like it did in October. That's like it did in October. He took the ball one touchdown.
We got season tickets for 22 years. We got season tickets for 22 years. And we love this game, baby. We love this game. 22 years.
Y'all remember this? No more. No more. No more.
Hey, Hartley. We love you, Hartley. We love you, Hartley.
It's this kind of night. The Houdats are going to be celebrating for a long time. Inside Dolphin Stadium, Doug Mouton. Eyewitness News, Super Bowl 44. Come on, dog. Fucking right, dog.
And back with Channel 4 Sports Director Jim Henderson, voice of the Saints. Will there be a memorable pigs flying call that comes out of this one?
Well, since it was pretty much decided when the Saints went out to that 14-point lead, I think I said at the end of it, get ready to party with the Lombardi, New Orleans, because
I like that.
You are the world champions of professional football. The Miami Miracle, but not quite. Didn't have quite the zing that last week's the NFC Championship game did, because again, once they got out to that 14-point lead, you pretty much thought it was going to happen, and it did, and it was just tears all around up in the booth, tears all around in the stands. I mean, CBS had a great shot after they scored. With the interception by Porter, 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game, and they had shots of Saints fans crying up in the stands. So a lot of catharsis, a lot of relief, and a lot of relieved Saints fans, broadcasters, and media types.
We talked. You mentioned the Tracy Porter interception. You think about the last few weeks that guy's had.
Oh, yeah.
Steps in front of the Brett Favre pass that solidifies even the trip here. And it's almost a similar type play where he steps in front, makes on the inside route, and just gone.
Yeah, you kept waiting for the Saints to do what they do, and that's get a turnover and hope that they could make the Colts do what they don't do, and that's turn the ball over. Only one turnover in the game, and while it didn't decide it, it certainly put it away. Tracy Porter had a touchdown on this very same field against Miami.
Oh, yes.
They brought him back. I think he had 4 interceptions on the season, and one of them came back right here for a touchdown against the Dolphins. So there's so much symmetry to this season, and so many things came together in what was a perfect storm for New Orleans.
All right.
After 43 years, we're finally in that number. This is our year. We're going to the big show. Weedat! River Parish Disposal salutes the black and gold and all the fans who have supported this team game after game, season after season.
Gonna do this for Buddy D, baby.
River Parish Disposal. Yeah, our business stinks, but it's picking up.
The Cadillac CTS Sports Sedan. One of Car and Driver's 10 best for the 3rd year in a row.
Southeast Louisiana lifestyles and values have been a part of First American Bank for over 100 years. First is a trusted community bank, and today is a vibrant symbol of growth. From Vacherie to Baton Rouge, the North Shore and beyond, First American Bank remains strong.
Our customers know they can trust First American. Personal service is a strength of our bank.
Modern banking, new traditions. First American Bank, celebrating 100 years as a banking tradition in Louisiana.
I'm Blaine Kern, Mr. Mardi Gras.
And I'm Barry Kern, and this is our Rouse's.
It's not Mardi Gras without Rouse's King Cake. Rouse's bakes their king cake fresh every day.
Bake me something, mister.
I like the traditional king cake.
I like the flavors.
Traditional.
The flavors are better. We tell everybody, get all your parade stuff at Rouse's. They make everything from party trays, sandwiches, chips, anything you need. How about that fried chicken? Ooh,
I always was a leg man.
Welcome back to Sun Life Stadium, visiting with the Pro Bowl right guard of the world champion New Orleans Saints. How does that sound, Jahri Evans?
Oh, man, it sounds great. It's an awesome feeling.
The first quarter pretty much controlled by the Colts. You're behind 10-0, but no panic. You guys pretty much reversed things, although not totally on the scoreboard, but statistically in the second quarter you started rolling. What was the message on the sideline? What was the message in the huddle, Jahri?
Well, just to keep plugging away. You know, we started off slow the first quarter and the first half. You know, things wasn't going our way. We was coming up a little short on our third downs, and but you know, the defense did a great job of holding the Colts to 10 points, and we were able to get another field goal when Drew let us down there right before half after we failed them 2 times on the 4th and 1, which was pretty bad. But you know, we hung in there in the second half. We came out and did our job.
Coach Payton kind of set the tone going for it on 4th down there, and even though it didn't happen, he never plays with a short stick. At times of pressure, at times in the big game, he's always going to be aggressive as a play caller, isn't he?
Oh yeah, and you want that in a coach, and you know, I love it in a Coach Payton that he's going to be aggressive and he trusts us and believe in us to go do it, and you know, I think our teammates like it as well, and he showed that, you know, his tenacity coming out there the second half and going for that onside kick.
Way back in the dog days of summer in Metairie, when you're preparing for the season, did you ever envision this? When, perhaps in the course of it, did you think, you know, there might be something special here?
Man, you know what? When I first came to New Orleans, we were 1 game away from this big game. And, you know, I knew that we had something special going on with those group of guys that we had in 06 and the coaches and you know, the staff did a great job of just putting this team together. And 4 years later, we're winning the big game. So, you know, it's awesome, you know. And, you know, they just did a great job in the office and putting, you know, a good group of guys together. And here we are, Super Bowl champions.
Drew Brees is the MVP, 32 completions, ties a Super Bowl record. How have you seen him grown during your time with him?
Man, I mean, I never seen nobody work as hard as that guy, on and off the field. I mean, he's the first guy in the building and the last guy to leave. And, you know, he deserves everything he gets. You know, he works so hard for it, and it shows on the field. You know, he's a general out there. He leads us, you know, out there on the field, and it just shows in his play.
How many people from Bloomsburg have you heard from during this run?
Oh, man, a whole lot of people. All the guys I played with in college, coaches, teachers, professors, guys I played high school ball with, you know, a lot of people.
Do you have to pinch yourself somewhat to see how far you've come from Bloomsburg to Pro Bowl right guard to world champion in, what, the space of 4 years, is it?
Yeah, that's my 4th year. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it feels great. I mean, to come from Frankfort High School in Philadelphia and go to Division II school in Bloomsburg and to be drafted by New Orleans Saints in the 4th round, and here I am winning the Super Bowl in my 4th year. It's awesome.
Is it as good as you expected it to be, or has it not sunk in yet?
It hasn't really sunk in yet, but, you know, I'm pretty sure it will pretty soon. Probably when I get back to New Orleans and see all the fans and, you know, do Mardi Gras and stuff like that, it'll really just, you know, probably hit me all at once.
You've been a resident of New Orleans for a fairly short time, but how much does the support of these fans mean to this team? Because in many ways this must have felt almost like a home game tonight, given the support that you had.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. You know, the fans are our 12th man. They've been traveling with us all year long, whether it be, you know, away games, I mean, you know, in the dome especially, you know, the crowd noise, and even here today, you saw it, man. They was rocking, and, you know, and it really, we feed off that energy, and we love it.
What was it like on the sideline when Tracy Porter intercepted that pass right about where we are and started running up the sideline?
Man, it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling because we were rolling the second half, and to see him pick it off, it was awesome to just see him even, those guys block for him and see him get in the end zone, and it was an awesome feeling.
How confident were you before this game? Even though you were underdogs, I think people that were Saints fans were fairly confident you were going to win this game. Was there any sort of talk? Let me ask you a different question, though, in that lots of times Sean Payton, Drew has said, we'll give you one message, and that's what you carry into a game. There's so much information and so much preparation, and so the playbook is so thick that he gives you one message. Can you put your finger on any one message he gave you before this game that he told you that this is how you'll win it?
Be physical. Go out there, be physical, execute the plays, and have fun. Seize the second. That's what we've been, talking about all year long, taking advantage of opportunities, and I think we did that today.
How will you celebrate tonight?
Oh, man. I'll celebrate with the guys and my family and my friends, and it'll be a great night tonight.
How many tickets did you have to get for this?
I used all 15 of my tickets, so I kept them all.
A lot of people had said it's hard for first-time teams going into a Super Bowl to win because of all the distractions, because of the ticket thing, the family thing, the travel, all the fans around you in the hotel. But you guys seem to have handled it great. Where did that come from?
Well, we got a lot of great veteran leaders on our team, and just the coaches as well. They hit home with us and told us make sure we're pretty rested, drink plenty of fluids. You can party after the game. Once you win this game, nobody remembers the loser of the game. And they really hit home with us on that, and they kept us busy practicing and meetings and stuff like that. And our veteran leaders, stepped up, and we just followed the lead.
People said that the Colts defense, the Saints would have a hard time contending with the speed of the Colts defense.
Right.
It was your power perhaps against their speed on defense.
Right.
Were they a really fast defense?
Yeah, they are pretty fast. They move a lot, and you saw that in the linebacker play. Those linebackers hitting gaps in the running game, and those guys pinching down and enabling those linebackers to run. And they are a fast defense, and they rally to the ball well. And we knew if we protected enough time, gave Drew time to throw the ball, that he was going to do his thing, and the receivers got open, and that's what they did.
Jahri, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For being a Pro Bowl performer as the right guard for the NFC, and for the world champion New Orleans Saints. What a great young tandem they have now in Carl Nicks and Jahri Evans. Angela, back to you. Thanks, Jahri.
World champions.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But
tremendous.
Just
really
listening
tremendous.
to him, now they're veterans of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So when they go back sometime, all those things they didn't know about, they'll know.
Yeah, in the first quarter they had those jitters, I think,
Sure.
maybe because it was their first time. But yeah, next time they'll know better.
Very exciting. Well, our Juan Kincaid spoke to another world champion, Sedrick Ellis.
You guys finally were able to get pressure on Peyton Manning late in the game. After all the struggles early in the game, get that pressure, get the turnover.
Oh, man. We started to get pressure on him late in the game. I think he started to get a little bit rattled. He started throwing the ball where he didn't want to. And that's what I'm talking about. We just stayed in it to the end, and nobody was denied.
There's something about this season, hasn't it? Just something about it. 44.
It's so special about it, man. I can't describe it. Like I said, we were down in plenty of games this year. There were plenty of games that we weren't supposed to win, and we did.
That
Such
was tremendous,
a great,
wasn't it? Oh my God. That
You
was
have chills every time you see
it
that.
was just, there was a celebration. People erupted when they saw that. We'll have more coverage in just a moment.
Ronnie, Glory, Wookie? Not today, Sugar Bear. Saints and F. You got it. Oh, when our Saints...
Wow. It's been 3 years since we did that Saints spot. And who would believe that today we'd be in the Super Bowl? Unbelievable. Now, all of us at Lamont Ford and my Mercedes-Benz store in Mobile, Alabama, are all pulling for our Saints. God, what a blessing. Let's go, boy.
Who that? Who that say they're gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Flame broiled, fresh off the grill, and more meat than that fried double cheeseburger from McDonald's. We call it being better. Double cheeseburger now just $1. Big flame fresh taste always at Burger King. Fact, it's got more beef than a fried McDonald's double cheeseburger. We think it's got more taste too, but that's more like an opinion. The quarter-pound double cheeseburger, bigger than McDonald's and now just $1, only at Burger King.
With Capital One Bank's free checking with rewards, me and the lads earn rewards just for everyday banking, like writing checks.
I found your problem. Thank you.
Paying our bills online earns us rewards. We earn rewards just for using our debit cards. We even earn rewards for getting money at the ATM. It's free checking with rewards at Capital One Bank.
What's in your wallet?
Mr. Snappy!
The Saints have won their first Super Bowl, and Wilson, the official ball of the NFL, has just released the championship Super Bowl 44 official game football to the public. This is the same football used in the historic Super Bowl, with the addition of a third commemorative panel with the Saints logo, the words Super Bowl 44 champions, the date and score of the game. This historic collectible is limited to 10,000 individually numbered footballs. Order yours today for $129.95 plus shipping by calling 1-866-280-BATS or go to spikefootball.com for this once-in-a-lifetime historic offer.
We're looking at a live picture now of the team hotel in Miami, and you can see the Saints players, team owner Tom Benson, and some of the other members of the organization coming into the hotel.
Just hugging each other, just loving and savoring every moment.
Yeah, they probably feel just like the rest of us, that it's just, this is so unbelievable. It's just kind of sinking in now.
You know, if you talked, I'm sure, to any one of those team members, any one of the staff, anyone, they would say, we're going to win, we're going to win. But now we're saying, isn't it unbelievable?
Yeah, and they
but
have
it
worked
was believable.
They have worked so hard for this.
Yes, they have.
They deserve a celebration. Paul Murphy is with a lot of other people celebrating right now at the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. Paul?
I'll tell you what, the only thing I can say is I got to party with the Zulus more often because these folks are serious. It's gone from electric to just plain crazy in the last hour. I'm here with King Zulu 2010. It's crazy.
Oh, man, we having a blast over here. What can we ask for this time, man? Go Saints, go! And I'm the king for 2010. Can't get any better than this. Look what we're doing at the Zulu Club. Come on down, have a good time. We're going to party all night.
Talk about the parade. I understand you're going to have some Saints on the parade, and Zulu's also helping with the Saints parade.
Absolutely. Who that? Who that said they're going to beat them Saints? Yeah, we definitely had the Saints in the parade with us. Can't wait. It's going to be a beautiful Mardi Gras. Roll Saints!
Now we know that we can't say who that going to beat them Saints because we know it's not the Colts. So my friends here at Zulu have a new song.
I go, I go, I go! Saints go all the way! I go, I go, I go! Saints go all the way! I go, I go, I go! Saints go all the way! I go, I go, I go! Saints go all the way!
All right, I think they're going to, the folks at Zulu said they're going to try to trademark that before the NFL gets a hold of it. I think we'll be hearing that a lot along the parade route Mardi Gras Day. Back to you in the studio, Dennis and Angela.
You look at those coconuts. I know you want them right now.
It's going to be a black and gold Mardi Gras, you know that.
Very much so.
Absolutely. And we're going to go, where are we going to go? Doug Mouton, who talked to some fans who are celebrating. Here's what Doug found fans talking.
The Super Bowl has just ended. We are actually in the stands at the Dolphin Stadium with some Who Dat fans. As best you can tell me, how good does this feel?
This is awesome, baby. It's awesome. The best feeling in the world.
When Tracy Porter picked off that pass, what are you doing?
Started crying?
When Tracy Porter picked it off, what are you thinking?
We got this. It's over. It's over.
Nah, we thought it's time.
But he did it.
We thought
arose from the dead.
We should now hang Peyton Manning's jersey in the Superdome for that gift.
Tracy.
How good does this feel?
I've been a Saints fan all my life. Who that, baby? This was for Buddy D, baby. This was for Buddy D right here.
Believe, believe.
Who that? Who that? Who that said it gonna beat the Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that said it gonna beat the Saints?
This celebration is going to go on for a while. Inside the Dolphin Stadium, Doug Mouton, let's send it back outside.
But you know, the emotions are right there, and that man wanting to cry is how many people feel right now.
People are welling up, and imagine if Buddy D were here. What would Buddy D be doing? He'd be dancing around in a dress. That's right.
We'll be right back.
Here we come to get you. You better dig. Here we come to get you. A little bit more. Here we come to get you. You better dig. Here we come to get you. A little bit more.
The only thing brighter than her smile is the sparkle of her open heart creation. From diamond hoop earrings to our exclusively designed fleur-de-lis pendants. Start your own Valentine's tradition with a gift from Open Heart Jewelers on Metairie Road.
I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm going back to school to spread the word about Ford.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Fuel efficiency matter to anybody? Focus has an EPA estimated 35 mpg, really fuel efficient. What are we studying? Oh, that looks like math.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Stingy on the gas?
Good.
Still peppy and fun? You want to take a look at it?
This is sweet.
Ford has quality that can't be beat by Honda or Toyota.
Now get 0% financing or $3,000 total cash back on Focus and get a no-charge 2-year premium maintenance plan. Drive one at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer.
A different look, a different sound, packed with cutting-edge technology, highly skilled professionals, day or night flights, miles offshore, or into the middle of downtown, anytime, anywhere. Investing in the future by continuing our commitment to provide the best in pre-hospital emergency care. That's AirMed.
Southeast Louisiana lifestyles and values have been a part of First American Bank for over 100 years. First as a trusted community bank, and today as a vibrant symbol of growth. From Vacherie to Baton Rouge, the North Shore and beyond, First American Bank remains strong.
Our customers know they can trust First American. Personal service is a strength of our bank.
Modern banking, new traditions. First American Bank, celebrating 100 years as a banking tradition in Louisiana.
At Open Heart Jewelers, smiles are our greatest creation. Our tremendous selection combined with unbeatable prices puts a smile on your face and the perfect engagement ring on her hand. At Open Heart, every piece of jewelry is extraordinary, but our greatest creation is your smile.
This magical moment is continuing not only on Bourbon Street, but in Florida, maybe over the whole United States.
Absolutely, and we're going to go back to the scene of this historic night, Dolphin Stadium, with Mike Hoss and Jim Henderson.
Well, we have a twofer for you, Sedrick Ellis and Malcolm Jenkins with Jim Henderson here at Sun Life Stadium. And Malcolm, initially first, wow, you come in as a rookie, Super Bowl. I mean, what's it been like?
You know, it's been a rough road, you know, but I thank God every day for the situation I'm in, for putting me on this team at this time. You know, it couldn't be any better for me. And, you know, to God all the glory, but, you know, I'm just happy for the city of New Orleans and what this win means to them and us.
Do you have a sense, being a rookie, of what it means to this city already?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've only been there for maybe 6 months, and it all really feels like home to me. And, you know, I love the fans there. And, you know, coming from Ohio State, I'm used to fans that are dedicated. And I actually think, you know, these Saints fans are a lot crazier than Ohio State fans, and that's saying a lot.
What did you see of Peyton Manning in the first 2 quarters that you guys adjusted to in the second half?
I think early on he kind of had a beat on us. You know, we weren't sure how he was going to, you know, set the pace of his offense, so we weren't disguising as much, and you know, he was checking into plays that were being successful. And I think once we got a tempo of what he was trying to do, we started disguising a little longer, and you know, he couldn't really catch a beat on what exactly we were doing. And I think that helped us out a lot.
When Tracy Porter got a beat, he made him pay, didn't he?
Oh yeah, you know, those are the type of plays that we practice all year round. You know, once we get the ball in our hands, you know, we always horn in on just trying to score with it. And you know, to get that at the end of the game and to finish the season like that, is definitely something that the defense loves.
Malcolm, go celebrate.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it, bud.
Congratulations, Malcolm. Sedrick Ellis is a fairly newcomer to the team as well. A couple of years out of USC.
Thanks, Tom.
What is it? How does it hit you? Can you sense how much this means to the city and this team, this franchise, having only been here a couple of years?
Well, first of all, when you just go to the city of New Orleans, you realize how much those people have been through, and just the perseverance that they have to continue to just go on with daily life. So when you play a game like football, as great a game it is, you just have to pay respect to people like that who are continuing on with their lives after going through such hard times. So I definitely understand what they've been through and what this means to them.
And you overcame some injuries in the course of this year as well.
Yeah, I had some knee problems early on, about the middle of the season. But I just wanted to, stay in shape and get back and help my team as much as possible, because these guys on this team are great. And the whole time I was hurt, the guys said, just take your time and come back healthy, and we'll keep it going for you. And that they did.
What kind of adjustments did you make up front, perhaps the front seven, against Joseph Adai, who ran very well in the first half and was pretty much shut down after that?
They came out and they were running a lot of zone runs and things like that, and we were in a 3-man front, and we just had to hunker down, and I don't think it was anything as far as a scheme or anything. We just hunkered down and said no more, and I think once we did that and we all looked at each other and realized where we're at and what was at stake, I think we just said no more, and he got no more.
Sedrick Ellis, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that's Sedrick Ellis, the defensive tackle.
Nice road, baby.
Angela and Dennis, back to you in the studio.
All right, guys.
Jim and Mike, thanks a lot. Remember Jim's call when they won the NFC Championship? Pigs flying, hell froze over. Well, we want to listen to tonight's call too.
And the final seconds are elapsing. The Saints do not have to run another play, and it's down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to party with the Lombardi, New Orleans.
It's already started. I'll promise you, my friend. Oh,
the miracle in Miami has happened. The Saints have won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Party with the Lombardi.
Phenomenal. Jim, what was that moment like for you? That had to be emotional.
Well, it really was, Dennis. Not quite as emotional, really, as the NFC Championship game, because this one, with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left, was virtually over with a 14-point lead. Although with Peyton Manning, you never know if it truly is. But when that happened, when Tracy Porter, I think, returned that interception for a touchdown, that was the most emotional time. And then it was kind of denouement after that.
I think what was when you listen to the call of the Garrett Hartley kick against the Vikings, you hear in your voice, you hear a release, and you heard it a little bit tonight too. At the end, it is a release of excitement, but a release of they've done it. Something that many people said they couldn't do. They've done it. The pressure's off.
Contentment for everybody, and just happiness. These last 2 weeks have been the most incredible thing I have ever gone through in my life. Just as I hate to keep going back to Katrina, just as Katrina was a life changer and something no one had ever experienced, well, nobody had ever experienced this either. I've never seen the joy, the extended joy, the smiles on people's faces, the pride in New Orleans, the pride in their football team, and wanting to embrace the city as much as it's being embraced right now. Usama Young is here.
Man,
Come on in, Usama.
Where do we get the robes? I want to sign up for a robe. How you doing, Usama? Come on in. Come on, come right here.
Man, we got them when we first walked into the locker room.
Oh, okay.
Nobody was wearing it before the game, but after the game, it's been a fashion statement. We got to show off the Super Bowl 44 in the Florida League, but next we got to get the embroidered Saints on there, man. Champs. So.
This is kind of an off-the-wall question, but I know you'll get this. Saints are down 13-0. Kick the field goal, 13-3. And they played a song that I didn't think they were going to play here in the stadium. What'd they play?
That's that halftime
the
by
Crunk
the
song.
Yin Yang Twins, man. Stand up and get crunk. It's been one of the songs that we've gotten excited, we've gotten hyped to throughout the year. When it comes on in the dome, man, the dome gets loud. It's electric in there already. But
I wasn't expecting to hear it tonight in the Super Bowl, though.
Me either, man. But when we first stepped out there, it was like a home game. I mean, we looked up in the crowd and we saw all the people with the black and gold on. The Who Dat Nation was present. So to hear the song, it just made it feel even more like the dome.
I don't mean to be negative, but they threw you in there at the last second when Jahri got hurt, right?
Yeah.
And Manning, he recognizes things right away, doesn't he?
Right. Manning's a great quarterback. We knew that if somebody went down, they're going to find the guy that came in new. I didn't know what route was to be ran. I've been moved around a little all throughout the year, but Man, I can't even dwell on the negative right now. I got to look at the positive.
And I don't want you to either.
Oh, yeah,
That's the only touchdown. If you could have come into this game and said, we're going to hold Peyton Manning for one touchdown pass, you probably would have felt pretty good about yourselves, wouldn't you?
You're right about that. We didn't want him to score any, but when it's all said and done, Peyton with one, that's a good game for the defense. And to cause a turnover to get a touchdown, man, can't say too much more.
You know, this feels pretty lucky for you guys. This is where you came back from 21 points down. This is where Tracy Porter had a touchdown as well on an interception return. This is his lucky field, and in many ways your lucky field, isn't it?
Man, when I first came out, I said, this feels like deja vu. And I talked to Tracy, and hey, it's about time to make a play. And he came up with that big interception, return for a touchdown. You can't get any bigger than that. On Peyton Manning, close to the 2-minute drill, it was a big play to almost clinch the game. You know, they still had a lot of time left, but it was one of those ones where you just like, wow, we needed a play, and we knew someone was going to be there to step up.
Usama, tell me about the onside kick. You're on kickoff, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about the onside kick, I guess, because you knew at halftime or whenever. When did you find out you were going to do it, and take me through it?
We've been practicing it throughout these practices. We knew that it's been a good kick for us. Thomas, I don't know how he gets that thing to spin backwards, but he put that English, that Irish on the ball, and it went back. And immediately, when Sean said we were going to call the play, everybody got excited. You know, some people might have doubted, but no way. On other teams, some people might have doubted, but not on this one. We knew that we had a chance to get the ball. We knew that it was going to be a big possession to steal, and that changed a lot of the momentum going into the second half. So it was a great play, man.
I was going to ask you if you thought it did change the momentum of the game. And it certainly, now because that the offense went down and scored, it certainly did do that.
Right. I mean, we didn't want them to come back down after we score, but still, just to steal that possession, I don't know what the time of possession was at the end of the game, but I'm sure we had them outnumbered by the end of it.
Ask and you shall receive.
Let's get it.
Second one again, same kind of stuff. It's live television.
That's right.
Hang with us a little bit.
Talk to yourselves out there for a second.
Show them the road. The Saints
got the whole road.
The Saints.
I'm gonna win this all night, man.
You won by 20 seconds. The Saints had it for 30-11. And the Colts had it for 29-49.
And now you got to think that 2-minute drive that they had at the end where they were running the clock a little bit. That was a little bit of a time stake. You know, that took up some time. But we were able to win that time of possession battle and the turnover battle. That's going to get you a lot of wins.
Especially when that turnover battle produces 7 points.
Oh, yeah. That's
what
amazing.
Was the philosophy on defense coming into this game against Peyton Manning?
Well, everybody knows that Peyton's a great quarterback. He knows how to read the defenses from the time they step out on the field, break the huddle, to the time he snaps the ball. So we tried to get him to be a little confused before the snap call and just mix up some things, disguise it as much as possible. He's seen all the disguises, so you're not going to show him anything new, but you want to show him a false look. And I think we were successful a few times with it, and there was a few times when he still picked us apart. Because, I mean, when you're a quarterback in this league, and I want to say he's a shoo-in, probably Hall of Famer, you know that he's going to find his spots, he's going to make some plays, but as a defense, you got to be opportunistic. You got to be able to make the play when he makes a mistake. So he makes a few, but we finally got him during one.
Did you relish the underdog role? Did you rally around that at all, and the naysayers in the national media?
You know what? We didn't really want to speak on it too much, but throughout the week, seeing that we were underdogs, it wasn't anything new to us. Throughout the year, people had us counted out. You know, at the end of the season, we ended at 0-3. So many statistics showed up that nobody's ended the season 0-3 and came back to win a Super Bowl. But we have been making history throughout the entire year, so why not make some more history today?
And yes, you did. Thanks, Usama, so much.
Thank you, man.
Very cool.
Thanks,
man.
Young.
I'm an XL when it comes to the road.
All right, I'm going to look out for you.
Usama Young, playing on the kickoff team, part of the onside kick tonight, and certainly part of the secondary and the dime and nickel situations again. Hello, my friend.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good.
Here we are with the world's biggest H-back, Zach Strief. You played a lot of roles on this team this year, and that was one of your latest ones, wasn't it? How does this all feel for you, Zach?
It's surreal right now. I think it's probably going to take a day or two to let it really soak in and realize what a what an accomplishment it is. Right now, it's just elation.
You're a North Shore man, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm St. Rose guy. My wife is from St. Rose.
Okay. But I know how active you are in the community. Not many people know what a good guy this man is. I talked to people in the front office. Nick Carl, he said whenever there's an appearance to be made, whenever there's a charity that needs someone, Zach Strief is always there. Tell me about your involvement in the community and what New Orleans means to you, and maybe you mean to it now.
It's a city that's easy to fall in love with the people, with the community. To get a chance to help. I'll be honest, I get more out of it than I can ever give. There's great people everywhere, and there's a lot of opportunities. My wife is from New Orleans, and so obviously there is a love there, and everyone that's from New Orleans knows what that love is. And she's taken over our foundation. She'd be mad at me if I didn't say it was dreambignola.com is our website. So we've done some things in New Orleans, and we'll continue to do that because we love it there.
I don't think I've seen a football team be affected less by falling behind than this football team. We've seen it throughout the year. It doesn't seem to affect you guys.
I think it's a combination of things. I think there's a lot of confidence in our locker room. Obviously the defense, with Coach Williams coming in, has a lot of swagger. They talk about that a lot. And then as an offensive player, when you have Drew Brees behind you, it's really hard to feel like you're out of it. And once you do it a few times, you realize we got to be real down to be out of a game. And, especially that early, I don't think there was ever a hesitation on the sideline. It was just, everyone's just saying, just stay, do what you're doing, be yourselves. No one has to do anything special. And we'll get back in it, and, fortunately we did.
And post onside kick, a huge offensive possession. You go down and probably one of the greatest screenplays that Pierre Thomas. I don't know if that's the same play he ran against the Vikings before. That play is gold.
Yeah, he's like Gumby. I mean, his hips and legs move in different directions, and he's an unbelievable player and a guy that you gotta be really happy for, to see how he came into this league and to see the success that he's having. And I think Coach Payton understands this team is an emotional group, and we thrive off of emotion, and that's an emotional turn in a game to get an onside kick like that, to get the ball back. Obviously, sidelines went, really exciting, and it really kind of kicked off the offense kind of getting into a groove.
They tell me your bus is leaving and we have to let you go.
All right.
Thank you so much, Zach.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks a lot, Zach.
Good job. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great work. We are.
Let's see if we can get you out of here.
That is Zach Strief. And now we send it back to the studio.
That's right.
Well, I hope that,
eligible, always eligible.
Mike and Jim, I hope you can hear us, because our news director, Chris Slaughter, has promised everybody Channel 4 bathrobes. Good news.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll be back with more of our live coverage in just a moment. Stay with us.
Subway $5 footlongs famous. So to thank you, we're making any regular footlong a $5 footlong. Get that? Any regular footlong, piled high with flavor, $5. Join the celebration. Subway.
The Cadillac CTS Sports Sedan. One of Car and Driver's 10 best for the third year in a
row. After 43 years, we're finally in that number. This is our year. We're going to the big show. We Dad. River Parish Disposal salutes the black and gold and all the fans who have supported this team game after game, season after season.
Gonna do this for Buddy D, baby!
River Parish Disposal. Yeah, our business stinks, but it's picking up.
I'm Al Balmer Jr., president of Balmer Foods Incorporated, maker of the world-famous Crystal hot sauce. Since 1923, when my dad and mom started making Crystal right here in New Orleans, we have been shipping over 2 million gallons of our hot sauce annually to more than 75 countries around the world. Thank you for using Crystal hot sauce to add a dash of Louisiana spice and flavor to your life. Crystal is proud to be the official hot sauce and #1 fan of the New Orleans Saints.
For a generation, we've been loyal fans of the Saints. We have celebrated in every touchdown and victory. We are your Super Chevy dealers, proud sponsor of the New Orleans Saints. Who dat? With big rebates, Chevrolet. 5,000 cash back on new Silverados. May the best truck win. And Sunday, may the best team win. Who dat? With a game-winning drive? We all know. Go Saints, go. See your Super Chevy dealer or log on to superchevydealers.com.
I'm personal injury attorney Michael Hingle. Have you been hit by a big rig like this one? If you're in a wreck with an 18-wheeler, we'll take them to court and they won't be so big.
Michael Hingle has offices in New Orleans, Hammond, Covington, Slidell, by appointment, Metairie, Houma, LaPlace, Gretna. Call attorney Michael Hingle, 1-800-USA-JURY.
Before you accept a quick check, check with me.
To game.
To catch the game.
To surf the net.
To channel surf.
TV on your time.
With 100% free HD and internet at your pace. Or whatever speed you need. Digital cable. And high-speed internet. What a pair.
Now, you can bundle Cox Digital Cable and high-speed internet preferred for only $66 a month for 6 months. Bundle and save today. Call 302-7666.
It's brilliantly better.
We are just very simply living the dream. And it is a dream come true.
Can you believe it? Scott Satchfield has a lot of people who believe it at Lucy's Bar in the Warehouse District. Scott?
Well, that's right, guys, and obviously the phrase is laissez les bon temps rouler, but I think it's safe to say we've never seen the good times roll quite like this. Folks have been out here since the very early afternoon hours, and the energy level, as you can imagine, has risen throughout the day. Take a look around where we are, obviously in the Warehouse District. You're looking up Tchoupitoulas right now. Quite a traffic jam. Police have actually had to block off the street right here, and they're making cars go down. But of course, we see vehicles coming down the street, people hanging out of the windows, and it's a wild celebration, but a very good-natured celebration. A lot of joy. Folks are, again, in disbelief, and it's really been that way throughout the evening, if not, obviously, the last couple of weeks. And sir, let's bring you in. Have you ever seen anything like this? And are you in shock?
Yeah, absolute shock. It's been unbelievable.
What were your thoughts when the final seconds took away?
Just awesome. You know, everyone, the excitement, it was great. Everyone was cheering. Everyone was off the seats. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty emotional, and thank you very much. Those are the comments we're hearing from most people. Disbelief, overjoyed, and again, the party seems like it will continue for quite a while. Police do have the traffic situation under control. However, for folks driving through this area, it's going to be quite a challenge, and it may take quite a while. Again, the party here looks like it'll be going for quite a while as we have this Who Dat chant going. And on a personal note, such an amazing experience covering this story. Many journalists may never get to cover something like this throughout their careers, and I'm with these people. I'm feeling the way they are, being a native of the New Orleans area. It's just a very, very, very special time, and again, we're going to be here. You guys come back to us, and I'm sure you will see very, very similar scenes here outside of Lucy's on Tchoupitoulas in the Warehouse District. Now let's send it back to the studio.
All right, Scott, thanks. You know, there are going to be a lot of people who are hoarse tomorrow. This yelling is going on for hours.
But, you know, looking down at that, Scott looked like this little island of calm in this madness. But, you know, even reporters have emotions.
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely. This is a special night.
We'll have more of this in just a moment. Stay with us.
Super Bowl post-game coverage on Channel 4 is brought to you by your Rouses, your Southern quality Ford dealers, Cox, Crystal Hot Sauce, your Louisiana Coastal Cadillac dealers, and River Parish Disposal.
I'm Blaine Kern, Mr. Mardi Gras.
And I'm Barry Kern, and this is our Rouse's.
It's not Mardi Gras without Rouse's King Cake. Rouse's bakes their king cake fresh every day.
Bake me something, mister.
I like the traditional king cake.
I like the flavor.
Traditional.
The flavors are better. We tell everybody, get all your parade stuff at Rouse's. They make everything from party trays, sandwiches, chips, anything you need. How about that fried chicken?
I always was a leg man.
The Saints have won their first Super Bowl, and Wilson, the official ball of the NFL, has just released the championship Super Bowl 44 official game football to the public. This is the same football used in the historic Super Bowl, with the addition of a third commemorative panel with the Saints logo, the words Super Bowl 44 champions, the date and score of the game. This historic collectible is limited to 10,000 individually numbered footballs. Order yours today for $129.95 plus shipping by calling 1-866-280-BATS or go to spikefootball.com for this once-in-a-lifetime historic offer.
Loyalty. It's the cornerstone of the Toyota brand, and it's one reason why Toyota has the best resale value of any brand for 2010, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Cars like Toyota Camry, the best car for the money. Right now, we're rewarding current Toyota owners with $1,000 in owner loyalty cash on any Toyota, and everyone is eligible for 0 APR on 8 models, including new 2010 Corolla, Yaris, RAV4, Camry, Sienna, Tacoma, and Tundra. To see why there's no comparison, visit buyatoyota.com.
Meet an outstanding high school senior who hits the books and the practice field equally hard. McDonald's, Ronald McDonald House Charities, and Channel 4 are proud to honor our local A-plus athletes.
I'm Jim Henderson with A-plus athlete Kurt McCune of Destrehan High School. Baseball been your best sport?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about what you've accomplished there.
First team All-State, first team All-Metro, and first team All-District this year.
Will you play collegiately, do you think?
Yes, sir. I recently signed with LSU.
What would you hope to do in college and beyond?
Major in chemical engineering and get a good job right near my house. I live in Norco, right around a refinery.
Well, and I guess you probably live in Norco because your parents are involved, or at least one is?
Yes, sir. My dad's been working there for years. He's the one that really influenced me in getting into that field.
Now a $400 donation has been awarded to Destrehan High School in Kurt McCune's name. A-Plus Athletes is a community project from McDonald's, Ronald McDonald House Charities, and WWL-TV Channel 4.
Hi. What can I get for $1? That's yours. How far can I get with this?
You can get out.
Hi. What can I get for this? How about 2 sizzling 100% pure beef patties with all the amenities in a meaty, melty McDouble? Or maybe an irresistible McChicken, golden fries, or any of the fabulous dollar menu tastes that are always here for you, huh?
Wow. The dollar menu, every day, only at McDonald's.
Ronnie, Glory, Wookie. Not today, Sugar Bear. Saints and F. You got it. Oh, when our Saints.
Wow. It's been 3 years since we did that Saints spot. And who would believe that today we'd be in the Super Bowl? Unbelievable. Now, all of us at Lamar Ford and my Mercedes-Benz store in Mobile, Alabama, are all pulling for our Saints. God, what a blessing. Let's go, boy.
Who that? Who that say? Gonna beat them Saints. Who that? Who that?
As overwhelmed as everyone in this state is, and certainly around the country, can you imagine what it's like to be Tom Benson, 25 years owner for this night? Well, Juan Kincaid talked to him about it.
Hey, that's an amazing moment for the people of New Orleans and the people of Louisiana.
This felt like a home game, didn't it, sir?
Oh, you know that, baby. I guarantee you. Hey, the best thing is that now we're showing the whole world. Hey, we ready. We back, boy. What great people we got.
And Sean Payton brings you a championship way sooner than many people expected. That quite a turnaround for this franchise, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Of course, you know, ownership did okay, too.
Mr. Benz, one last thing. Tell me what this championship means to you.
Well, it means so much. I'm talking about it. Personally, slightly, it's wonderful. But to our city and state, it means much more than what it means to me personally.
You can see the emotion in the crowd, can't you?
Ooh, I can't hardly wait to get back there and get that parade. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful feeling, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that worked better this season than ever before was the Saints' defense, and the defensive coordinator Greg Williams engineered it. Here's what he had to say after the game.
How about this? I got a phone call this morning
Well, it was around lunchtime, and he didn't think I'd pick up the phone, but it was Jeff Fisher. And Jeff said, look, you got to be you, but you got to be a patient you, okay? And he says, I know how aggressive you are, you know what, and he's my best friend in coaching. I talked to all the different coaches that have played against him this year. I've gone against Peyton quite a bit, but I think Jeff and Jim Schwartz have done a great job in years past on how they've gone and defensed him. But our little conversation today, I'm going to shout out and say thanks, Jeff, because he did say, you know what, it's going to be hard for you to be patient, but you got to do that today in order to be a world champion, and it happened that way.
Early on, Jim Henderson, early in the season, acknowledged the importance of getting this man and what a difference it was going to make on this team, and it really
has made a tremendous difference. And the people are celebrating on Bourbon Street. That's where our Begad Shaban is. Begad, how's it looking now?
Dennis and Angela, it is just as packed as it was when the Saints won the Super Bowl tonight. You know, what's most amazing about this crowd is you see beads flying in front of the camera. I think the one comparison you keep hearing over and over is Mardi Gras. But I think what makes this so much more special in a certain respect is that for Mardi Gras, it's a lot of tourists. But I think what makes this so magical is that a lot of the people you see in the streets, this is their city. You know, you have people from nearby Metairie, you have right here in the city, New Orleans East, the 9th Ward, people on the North Shore, Mandeville, Houma. This is their win, and for so many people, this is another sign of the rebirth here in our area, of the recovery, and they're celebrating through all hours of the night as I get pegged here with beads, and for so many people, this is so special. I don't know if Bob Weaver, our photographer, can kind of pan to the left, and you can see kind of the crowd forming. Bob, if you can give us a shot. There's actually a crowd forming, and they just continue to keep on cheering. And, you know, I'm getting pelted here, guys, but, you know, I think for so many, this is a win that they had anticipated, but are still just so surprised at what this is bringing to our city. I think the national spotlight is one that I think that we will learn to cherish, and for a lot of people, it's giving them a whole new perception of New Orleans. No longer are... It's a dodging game up here, guys, but no longer are we a victim, I think, in a lot of people's eyes, but New Orleans is just recovering as our city and as our team has as well. Dennis and Angela.
And again, the crowd looks just as big now as it did an hour or so ago. This will probably go on for a couple hours at least, maybe all night long.
Yeah, I think there's no telling on when this crowd is going to dissipate. You know, just probably within the last 30 minutes or so, you had a fire truck actually going down the street, arguably to try to dissipate some of the congestion here, but that really didn't make a dent whatsoever. I mean, it went down, and it took probably about an hour for it to move, maybe about 100 feet. But the crowd isn't going anywhere, and I actually think it may be back again.
Well,
actually,
many
it's a smaller
people are taking the day off tomorrow, but probably this crowd's going to be there for the parade on Tuesday.
Probably so.
Getting their position.
Absolutely. And we'll be back with more live coverage of the celebration in just a moment.
I'm Mike Rowan. I'm spreading the word about Ford at a gas station. I'm Mike Jasper. The Ford Fusion, the most fuel-efficient midsize sedan in America.
I like this one.
The 2010 Motor Trend Car of the Year.
What is the screen right there?
That's part of the sync system. What's the most fuel-efficient midsize sedan in America?
It's Ford Fusion.
That's correct.
Now get 0% APR or $2,000 total cash back on Fusion and get a no-charge 2-year premium maintenance plan. Drive one today at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer.
I'm Al Balmer Jr., president of Balmer Foods Incorporated, maker of the world-famous Crystal hot sauce. Since 1923, when my dad and mom started making Crystal right here in New Orleans, we have been shipping over 2 million gallons of our hot sauce annually to more than 75 countries around the world. Thank you for using Crystal hot sauce to add a dash of Louisiana spice and flavor to your life. Crystal is proud to be the official hot sauce and #1 fan of the New Orleans Saints.
When something happens out here, people get hurt. As a pilot and former offshore worker, I've seen what can happen. As an attorney, I fight hard for the rights of injured offshore workers so they get the money they deserve and can take care of their families. Because out here, sometimes you don't get a second chance. I make sure my clients do.
When Lewis St. Martin takes your case, you can take care of what's important. Call 1-800-222-3984 today.
Save on new Nissans at Ray Brandt Nissan during the Super Bowl.
How low will Ray Brandt Nissan go on the price of a new 2010 Altima 2.5S? He could go all the way. Only $17,999. The new 2010 maxed out Maxima 3.5S is $25,988. Or get the new 2010 Frontier XE for $16,888.
Ray Brandt Nissan.
During the Super Bowl at Ray Brandt Nissan on Palco Boulevard and at RayBrandtNissan.com.
If you get a wreck with a company car or 18-wheeler, call me. I'm attorney Ed Womack. I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
For a free consultation, call attorney Ed Womack at 486-9999.
You'll thank me for it.
Thanks, Ed.
The Cadillac CTS Sports Sedan. One of Car and Driver's 10 best for the third year in a row.
The Saints have won their first Super Bowl, and Wilson, the official ball of the NFL, has just released the championship Super Bowl 44 official game football to the public. This is the same football used in the historic Super Bowl with the addition of a third commemorative panel with the Saints logo, the words Super Bowl 44 champions, the date and score of the game. This historic collectible is limited to 10,000 individually numbered footballs. Order yours today for $129.95 plus shipping by calling 1-866-280-BATS or go to spikefootball.com for this once-in-a-lifetime historic offer.
Hi, this is Holly.
And I'm Heather with H2O Salon and Spa.
This Valentine's Day, give the gift of passion and pleasure. Affordable luxury starting at just $25. A manicure, pedicure, facial, massage for men and women. Indulge, relax, and unwind. H2O Salon and Spa, Metairie Road and Mandeville, where beauty and body are one.
H2O Valentine gift cards, available in store and online.
If you get in a wreck with a company car or 18-wheeler, if it's got a name on it, call me, attorney Ed Womack.
For a free consultation, call attorney Ed Womack at 486-9999.
You'll thank me for it.
Thanks, Ed.
We welcome you back to a moment none of us are ever going to forget.
That's for sure. And about an hour after the game, Mike Hoss was saying a lot of Saints fans were staying in the stadium like they were savoring the historic moment. They didn't want to leave. Let's go back out there to Mike Hoss and Jim Henderson and see what's going on there now. Guys?
Well, Dennis and Angelo, they have finally left. The party just really shifted. They had to leave the stadium here in Miami Gardens, but they are heading down to Miami and South Beach with the fans, and it's going to be a huge event that's going to last until dawn tomorrow. For that, I am sure. And this team, Jim Henderson, just seemed to have the answers this season. 13-0, lost 3 straight, didn't matter. Fell behind, didn't matter. Fell behind tonight 2 or 3 times, didn't matter. This team had the answer for whatever came before it.
Everything fell into place. The schedule fell into place. The amount of injuries they had and when they had them kind of fell into place. Playing a last place schedule, that all helped. And you got the feeling early on that this was going to be the year, and with each succeeding win, you got that feeling more. Every time there was a test, the Giant game, they rallied to that. The New England game was going to be the test. They won that game, and opening up 13-0. Then there was a little doubt when they lost to the Cowboys. The last 2 games of the season I pretty much dismissed. But everybody amongst the organization thought they could turn it back on for Arizona. I think some of us in the media and some of the fans doubted that they could. They did, and now they've become the Super Bowl champions. It's a wonderful story, and I agree with you. A lot of people are heading to South Beach. Probably a lot of people are heading down to the team headquarters for the party down there, if only to look on from afar.
And certainly when you've got a healthy Drew Brees, you can do a lot of things. And this guy has shown so much off the field, but on the field tonight, never lost his cool, just stayed within the game plan, stayed with what he has as an ability, and it just showed all the way through.
For all of the teams in the NFL who didn't make the playoffs, didn't come close to the playoffs, they're all looking at their quarterback position right now, because if you don't have that guy under center, you're never going to get this far for the most part. And these are the 2 best quarterbacks in the 2 conferences, and they both played like it tonight. Drew Brees just did such a great job. He's such a wonderful guy, such a great emissary and ambassador for the entire city, the entire region in the Gulf South.
And to do it here in Miami, the other team that wanted him as a free agent back in 2006, and he ended up in New Orleans, and the rest is history.
Well, you talk about them never panicking. It's really funny that they come back onto this field where they were down by 21 points and staged the comeback. I'm looking down at the uprights to my left, and that's where Drew Brees dunked the football over the goalpost after he scored that touchdown. So this is a scene of a lot of great things in the first game. The first time that the Saints played the Dolphins here this season, back in October, back when it was Landshark Stadium and not Sun Life Stadium. This was the scene of the greatest comeback, and also Tracy Porter's interception that he ran back for a touchdown here in the regular season. So a lot of things came together. A lot of things came together that made you feel like this was the year, and these were all things that were going to fall into place and make this a special season, which it truly has been.
And lastly, they brought in a new defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, and I believe Tracy Porter's interception tonight was the 10th touchdown they scored as a defensive unit. That speaks volumes to what they did.
They've had 10 returns for touchdowns on this team, and this was Greg Williams' philosophy. Take the ball away and do something with it. I've never seen a defensive coordinator who had a blocking scheme for after you collected a turnover, here's how you score. But that kind of swagger, that kind of confidence, that kind of change of the culture that he manifested and he pulled off, that's the reason they are where they are.
Tomorrow, you will write a commentary for the world champion New Orleans Saints.
Wow, I'm not sure I'll know what to say, but in the meantime, I'll be thinking a lot of thoughts. I know that. There's no reason to go to sleep tonight. I know that before that is written. I'm still numb. I truly am. This has been such a remarkable run, such a remarkable story, and a great story. People all around the country, all around the world want to climb on this bandwagon. There's room for everybody because this is the feel-good story of the year in sports. And when I was up in the broadcast booth tonight, after the Colts were beaten, Bob Lamey, the play-by-play guy for the Colts, came over and gave us a thumbs up and congratulated us. And I really think the Colts are sad for the fact that they lost a championship tonight, having won 3 Super Bowls ago. But I think they're happy for the Saints. I truly think they are. And I think a lot of people around the country and a lot of around the world are, and for very good reason.
Thank you very much, Jim. The Saints win it 31-17. The New Orleans Saints, champions of Super Bowl 44, world champs. Dennis and Angela?
All right. Thanks very much.
You know, Jim forgets, but again, very early in the season, he and I were talking on the set, and I said, as I always do every year, Jim, can we go to the Super Bowl? He said, you know, we could. And it was just the way he said it. I thought, my gosh, he really believes we can.
Yeah.
And we did.
And we won.
Yes.
And we'll be right back after this.
Subway $5 footlongs famous. So to thank you, we're making any regular footlong a $5 footlong. Get that? Any regular footlong, piled high with flavor, $5. Join the celebration.
Subway. I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm going back to school to spread the word about Ford.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Fuel efficiency matter to anybody? Focus has an EPA estimated 35 mpg, really fuel efficient. What are we studying? Oh, that looks like math.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Stingy on the gas?
Good.
Still peppy and fun? You want to take a look at it?
This is sweet.
Ford has quality that can't be beat by Honda or Toyota.
Now get 0% financing or $3,000 total cash back on Focus and get a no-charge 2-year premium maintenance plan. Drive one at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer.
After 43 years, we're finally in that number. This is our year. We're going to the big show. We Dat, River Parish Disposal salutes the black and gold and all the fans who have supported this team game after game, season after season.
We're gonna do this for Buddy D, baby!
River Parish Disposal. Yeah, our business stinks, but it's picking up.
I'm Blaine Kern, Mr. Mardi Gras.
And I'm Barry Kern, and this is our Rouse's.
It's not Mardi Gras without Rouse's King Cake. Rouse's bakes their king cake fresh every day.
Bake me something, mister.
I like the traditional king cake.
I like the flavors.
Traditional.
The flavors are better. We tell everybody, get all your parade stuff at Rouse's. They make everything from party trays, sandwiches, chips, anything you need. How about that fried chicken?
I always was a leg man.
Welcome back. We have a special programming note. Because of our special Super Bowl coverage, the CBS premiere of The Undercover Boss will air at midnight.
And you will be tested on that after midnight. Two very brave souls, our wonderful Begad Shaban and Maya Rodriguez, are on Bourbon Street enjoying every minute of it.
Hey guys, I'm here with Maya and just a few of our, 1,000 or so friends behind us here on Bourbon. Actually, Maya's just back from walking the streets of Bourbon. How was it?
Oh my God, it was completely chaotic, first of all. Just getting down here, there are packs of fans roaming the side streets of the French Quarter, just screaming, "Who dat, who dat?" Just coming down. They're totally not allowing cars to go by. So if you're thinking about driving through the French Quarter, pretty much forget it, because there's no way you can do it. We are pretty much getting pelted up here by beads. They're throwing beads down below. We were down below about 10 minutes ago, and the second our camera light went on, people went pretty wild. So everyone's in really, really good spirits, but the streets are packed. I have never seen it quite like this. Even at the height of Mardi Gras, it has never been this congested. It's almost like you can't breathe down there.
And I know we kind of have our own little crowd here forming as well. Bob Weaver, our photographer, is going to pan down. Here are just some of our few favorite friends here. And I remember, Maya, it was just a year ago that we were here for Mardi Gras, and you can see a difference in the crowd.
There's definitely a difference. Well, first of all, you see all these second-line parasols. It is absolutely amazing. In fact, I wish we had one of those parasols right now, because we are getting pelted by beads, but it is absolutely packed. Like I said, you can hardly breathe. The only thing I can actually compare this to is the Millennium in Times Square, the Millennium changeover. It was really packed then. This pretty much ranks right there with it. I would almost say this is even more congested than that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I think what surprises me is just how this crowd just continues to get even larger. The sights and sounds here are just incredible. Let's just go ahead and listen in just for a little bit. It is just unbelievable out here, Maya.
You know, you mentioned earlier the fire truck trying to get through. We were down there when that fire truck was trying to get through with very little success. So you also have police on horseback that are trying to control the crowd. I'm not sure just how effective that is at this point.
We haven't heard any problems as of yet, and really with the NFC Championship game, it was kind of a great story at the end, no serious problems, and we're certainly hoping that that's the case tonight. Dennis and Angela, we'll toss it back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Maya and Begad.
I have a big question for you,
Yes.
Dennis. How many people out there do you think are going to work tomorrow?
Probably very few.
I think just you and
Very
me.
few.
Begad
We will
and
be at
Maya.
work. Yeah, that'll probably be about it. You know, a lot of Houdats went to Miami. That was a Houdat
Yes.
nation in Miami in South Florida this past week. And Doug Mouton talked to some of those Houdats tonight after the game to get their reaction. Here's what they had to say.
Back inside Dolphin Stadium, the Houdat celebration continues. Tracy Porter makes that interception. What's happening right here?
The place goes crazy! The whole place went nuts! Because we won the Super Bowl! Man, unbelievable! Crazy!
How good does this feel right now?
It feels amazing. I waited my whole life for this! Yeah!
How much fun is this right now?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It's hard to describe. I was at Tulane Stadium for the Gilliam's return. What's it, 42 years now? It's just hard to believe. Hard to believe.
It beats the bags over your head. I'm telling you, it beats the bags over your head. Woo! They did it! Super Bowl champions! Super Bowl champs! Super Bowl champs! Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say gonna beat Dixie?
And this is not going to stop for a while. Inside the Dolphin Stadium, Doug Mouton, let's send it back downstairs.
You know what it is? It's another bonding experience. All of us.
You know how people feel good after a Saints win, a regular Saints win on Monday? It's like times 1,000.
1,000 right here.
We'll have more live coverage on that.
Meet an outstanding high school senior who hits the books and the practice field equally hard. McDonald's, Ronald McDonald House Charities, and Channel 4 are proud to honor our local A-plus athletes.
I'm Jim Henderson with A-plus athlete Jordan Hanbury of John Curtis Christian School. What makes that program so good?
You know, the coaches care about us. They're dedicated to the program and just hard work.
What do you think you'll do after high school?
Attend Dartmouth or Ivy League school and play football. The academics are so great. I like the location.
And you've got an interesting family.
I have 6 brothers and sisters. And my oldest brother, he has cerebral palsy.
What's that taught you?
It just taught me to care about people that are less fortunate than me. And that just, you know, just have a caring heart.
Now a $400 donation has been awarded to John Curtis in Jordan Hanbury's name. A-plus Athletes is a community project from McDonald's, Ronald McDonald House Charities, and WWL-TV Channel 4.
Hi, what can I get for $1? That's yours. How far can I get with this? You can get out. Hi, what can I get for this? How about 2 sizzling 100% pure beef patties with all the amenities in a meaty, melty McDouble? Or maybe an irresistible McChicken, golden fries, or any of the fabulous dollar menu tastes that are always here for you, huh? Wow.
The dollar menu, every day, only at McDonald's.
Welcome back to our live coverage, and one of the favorite hangouts for Houdats in South Florida is the Shuck and Dive Bar in Fort Lauderdale.
Say that one more time.
The Shuck and Dive Bar in Fort Lauderdale, and Lucy Bustamante is part of the celebration there. Lucy?
Oh, Dennis and Angela, this crowd earlier was so much bigger than what you're going to see now, but still, these are the diehards that stayed later. It was about 600 people when the crowd was at its largest, just watching the game that was being projected onto a catering truck. It happened to be a white catering truck. Nobody cared. How was that, guys?
Oh, it's gorgeous. We love it. Great time.
So let me show you why people in New Orleans wanted to stay in New Orleans instead of come to Fort Lauderdale. If you will take a look right over there, you will see the Fort Lauderdale police that came to tell Danny Stasi to please shut down his bar. It is closing time, and the leftovers are the people who are resisting it. So nevertheless, the party will continue. He is on the microphone inside, kind of instructing people what to do next. But are you guys going to continue the party or what?
Lucy, we're going to continue partying, and we want everybody back home to know that we've got Miami, y'all got Bourbon Street. Take it home for us for the rest of the night. It was an unbelievable pandemonium experience, and we're going to enjoy every minute here, but y'all enjoy the rest of the night. Houdat Nation, let's go!
All right, somehow we're going to survive and eventually go to bed. Back to you guys.
Okay, they're still having fun there.
Yeah, it's wild. Can you imagine police coming and shutting down Bourbon Street? We're going to take a live picture now of the players going into the team hotel, and gee, these players have got to be so happy tonight. They've worked so hard all season, and now going into the team hotel.
I would bet there is a throng of people.
Yeah. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when they finally come back to New Orleans after, remember how they would come back after each win away? I mean, the arrival here is going to be phenomenal. Of course, we have the parade Tuesday night, but when they arrive, I guess tomorrow, it's going to be just a tremendous celebration.
You know, and they just, I've been thinking about other Saints players from former teams that we've had, you know, going back 20 and 30 years, how thrilled they have to be too. This is part of a whole process, and this is the moment.
And it really has been part of this whole community. I mean, the fans have been such a big part of this. I mean, people were saying tonight how Dolphin Stadiums, it seemed like a home game for the Saints because there were so many Saints fans there. And the Saints have been such a big part of this. I think it was Scott Cody was saying that he did a story about all of the fans who would welcome the Saints players when they came back from their away games. And he called some of the other teams to find out what kind of arrival celebrations they had. And they said, what are you talking about? You know, fans just don't welcome those players back in other cities the way they do here.
You know, I was talking to some people in Miami, and I'd say, well, do you see any people from the Colts? You know, any Colt fans? He says, well, not many, or they're just sitting and watching. Where we are so active and buoyant and screaming, and and you may end up with 50 strangers and become quickly friends.
And even when the Saints were doing badly, and I hate to mention this when they're doing so well, but even in those bad days, I mean, the fans just hung in there and still loved the Saints, even though they were upset about the way they were doing. And now this triumph, look at these players coming in, and the fans just ecstatic to see them and so happy about.
And they've probably been standing there over an hour waiting for that bus to arrive.
Absolutely.
And just saying, we're with you every minute of this victory. I think something that Jim Henderson said was very true when he said that the play-by-play guy from the Colts came over and congratulated and said, you know, we are happy for you. And I bet that's true. I mean, you know that Peyton Manning, look at that. Oh, here he goes, leading the cheer.
And the Saints players really do have a sense that the fans are a part of this victory, of this triumph, this world championship, that the fans have hung right in there and helped them win in some cases. Really tremendous to see this. Well, Juan Kincaid caught up with Deuce McAllister earlier, and here's what Deuce had to say.
I'd like to think that Deuce McAllister started this whole playoff run. They bring you back to be the honorary captain, get you back on the roster, and it's a special moment for you to still be a part of this team. So as we fast forward to winning a Super Bowl championship, give me your emotions.
I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated this year, and you know, I'm just extremely proud. I'm happy for these guys and to be a part of it, and to be, you know, just for the region, for the city of New Orleans. You know, it kind of makes us legitimate, and you know, we understand and realize that we're not first in a lot of things, but we're world champions. You know, we're first in this.
Before the season began, the Saints were one of 5 teams that had never been to the Super Bowl. Now, that's obviously gone, but winning a championship and the way this team did it and how they've done it in the playoffs by, you know, if they struggle in one area, there's something else picks them up. It's the perseverance of this football team that's really special this year.
Yeah, never really quitting, and, you know, just a group of guys understood it, and, you know, it started with Coach Payton, and then it just carried over with Drew, and, you know, he was special tonight, you know, and I think he wanted to go out and prove that he belonged in the elite group of quarterbacks, and, you know, it kind of showed.
I know you didn't play, but how much do you feel a part of this?
Oh, I'm a part of it. You know, I may not have physically played, but just to be in those meetings at practice, trying to help those guys, and just, you know, stand in their ear, and just, you know, you see some of the plays that we're making, and you know, I just told a lot of guys I really appreciate them because they made it special for me.
I know every year people go into training camp saying we want to get to that big game, want to win that big game, but at the end of the day, it still has a shock value to it, doesn't it?
Well, it hadn't really sunk all the way in. I mean, you know, but we understand there's no game next week. You know, we won the last game, and we're the only team that can say you won your last game.
And they can't take this away from you.
They can't take it away. You know, they can't take it away. Can't come back and say this wasn't legitimate, because it was. Appreciate it.
You can't take it away, and they don't have a game next week, but they got to start on next season.
And we're hoping for another win. We're hoping for another win, and we're watching the players as they continue streaming into the team hotel tonight after this championship win. And what a game this was tonight, too.
Oh, and you know, and not all Super Bowl games have been great.
No.
In reality, some of them are dull. This was a tremendous game.
Yeah. And the poise of this team, I mean, that's what struck me through the season. When they would be down, you know, I mean, other teams...
We knew it wasn't over.
No, well, and in previous years, it was always over. It was always over. But this year, after the first few games, we got the sense that, no, it's not over. They can still come back. And the team, and Drew Brees, and you could see it in his face, he would not give up. I mean, he he wasn't going to give up. He was determined to make it happen.
But you know what also made it a fascinating, great game was the fact that Peyton Manning never gave up either.
Yeah.
And you could see it in his face. Yeah. We are down, but we're not going to give up, even though it was a fait accompli.
Yeah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, we won. And we're going to be right back.
Super Bowl post-game coverage on Channel 4 is brought to you by your Rouses, your Southern quality Ford dealers, Cox, Crystal Hot Sauce, your Louisiana Coastal Cadillac dealers, and River Parish Disposal.
iMasters believes expectations are for raising, so how about 2 complete pair of glasses for $99 or 2 pair of no-line bifocals for $149? And every frame, even designers, are just $59.95. iMasters, why pay more?
Hi, I'm Deuce McAllister. 2 years ago, my cousin Ralph Peterson from my hometown of Morton, Mississippi, got crushed by a big rig in Texas. And just recently, my other cousin, Jasmine McDonald, also from Morton, had a horrible wreck. I'm glad my cousins Jasmine and Ralph followed my advice and called my attorney Bernie at 888-4BERNEY. That's 888-4BERNEY, and don't forget the EY.
There's so much to see.
And a whole lot to enjoy. Expand your options. Make life
More entertaining. Rent movies.
Catch up on those shows. Watch whatever you want. Whenever you want. Watch the world. Watch it all.
Subscribe to Cox Standard Cable and receive Cox Digital Cable free for 6 months with on-demand, My Primetime, and 100% free HD channels. Call 333-6454.
It's brilliantly
better.
There's nothing more important than fans, and Omni Bank has a lot of them. In a recent survey, customers used the same words over and over to describe their Omni experience. Words like friendly, personal, professional, courteous. I could go on, but let me tell you, it's experiences like these that make Omni a winning play. If you want a trusted tradition in banking where the difference is service, then join my team here at Omni Bank. I know I'm a big fan.
They're troubled kids and unadoptable dogs. Now the two are working together for a new leash on life.
Can you imagine some of those kids, this is their first taste of unconditional love.
Angela Hill reports on Channel 4's Eyewitness News Night Watch, Tuesday at 10.
Through rain, sleet, snow, and a Super Bowl win, Carl Arredondo is with us to tell us how glorious it's going to be tomorrow.
I don't think it's going to matter what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. Right. It's going to be a super Monday, and no rain tomorrow, so it's going to be nice and dry, but we may have still clouds around and cool and breezy, but it's going to be a real nice day tomorrow, and we got the rain coming, but that should be out of here by the parade on Tuesday. Take a look first at WeatherLink 4, the scene of the victory in Miami. You can see a very nice evening going on. I'm sure there's lots of foggy conditions with some of the partying going on out there, but overall it's a pretty nice night. Right now around Dolphin Stadium, 52 degrees, and the relative humidity is at 69%. And you can compare that to 43 here in the French Quarter where everybody's out, but doesn't probably feel like 43 out there. People are so jam-packed together, all that body heat making it feel so much warmer than that 43 degrees. Today at the airport, our temperature was 49 degrees, 41 was the morning low. Some places did get into the low 50s, but overall temperatures below the average of 64 for an afternoon high. And you can see rainfall for the month and the year. So definitely a nice day today. Tomorrow going to start off on the cold side, maybe even some frost north of the lake, upper 30s to low 40s south of the lake. So Monday morning, if you're out early enough, you might need a jacket and coat. Then in the afternoon, we'll call it cool and breezy with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s with some clouds around, so mostly cloudy skies. Then Monday night into Tuesday early morning, here comes a system, showers and thunderstorms during the overnight hours, and by the morning commute time on Tuesday, maybe about a 30% chance for some spotty showers left over. And then by parade time, we'll call it windy and chilly to cold depending on your tolerance, because that wind's going to make it feel so much colder because temperatures will be in the 40s for the parade time, and it's going to feel colder than that. Then on Wednesday morning, look for those temperatures to be even colder with the wind, so a cold morning coming up, maybe even a moderate freeze north of the lake, so keep that in mind for Wednesday morning. So as we count down to Carnival now, we've already put the Super Bowl behind us. But you can see the parade on Tuesday, Wednesday parade's dry, chance of rain Thursday for the parades, a higher chance on Friday, chance of rain on Sunday and Lundi Gras, and right now Mardi Gras looks like it should be on the dry side. So we'll continue to count down now to Carnival. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, cold with some frost north of the lake, mid-30s. South of the lake, upper 30s to low 40s with an east wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, cool and breezy, upper 50s to low 60s, an east-southeast wind at 10 to 18 miles per hour. Here's a look at your pinpoint 7-day forecast, and you can see that chance of rain early on Tuesday won't affect the parades, but we do have chances of rain coming later on in the week, Thursday into Friday. But overall, that parade for that victory parade for our world champion New Orleans Saints, you'll need some heavier coats and jackets, but definitely going to be on the dry side.
All right.
But our hearts are warm.
Yes.
Yes.
And we want to go to Bill Capo now, who talked to some fans in Miami, in the streets of Miami, right after the Super Bowl win.
Who dat? We dat. What more can you say at a time like this when the Saints have won their very first Super Bowl? What you think? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat guy gonna beat that Saints? It's a history-making moment in New Orleans. And what more can we say? I'm just getting lost in the crowd. But they are the happiest crowd maybe in New Orleans history. Take a look at the furor on South Beach as people are just going nuts. As what do you think? What do you think? We're number one. The Saints. Who that? Who that? Can you believe this? I believe. I believe. What do you think?
Who that? Who that? New Orleans. Oh my God, we won. We won. We won.
Thank you. The joy. I haven't seen any tears yet, but I'm sure somewhere around here there are tears. The entire street. If you look over there, they're dancing. They're forming a line. It's a Saints nation tonight. The Who Dat Nation, they didn't have tickets to get into the game, so they came here to South Beach, and now they were in Miami Beach when the Saints won. Can you beat this?
That is really wanting to be part of it. When you go there with no expectation of getting into that game, just wanting to be there with things. And we got greedy. We're winning. This is our night.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Holly, and I'm Heather with H2O Salon and Spa.
This Valentine's Day, give the gift of passion and pleasure. Affordable luxury starting at just $25. A manicure, pedicure, facial, massage for men and women. Indulge, relax, and unwind. H2O Salon and Spa, Metairie Road and Mandeville, where beauty and body are one.
H2O Valentine gift cards, available in store and online.
It is a state with a rhythm and resonance all its own. Louisiana's people and parishes have a special spirit and a special TV station. Here, a legacy of journalistic excellence has been passed down to today's storytellers through moments that have been heartbreaking and heartwarming. From Eyewitness News to the people of this special state, we'd like to say thank you for watching WWL-TV Channel 4, Louisiana's news leader.
My attorney, Bernie, sometimes likes to have my family over, and we like to enjoy a good old-fashioned barbecue.
This is a non-client paid endorser.
I admire my attorney, Bernie. I admire any guy who knows his stuff.
Welcome back. We want to check in one last time with Jim Henderson and Mike Hoss at Sun Life Stadium, Dolphin Stadium in Miami, the scene of tonight's historic win for the Saints. Jim, Mike?
You are right, Dennis. Historic as it is with Jim Henderson, sports director. I remember somewhere in early third quarter I was going through notes going, what did the Saints average a game? Like 31 points. And I was like, oh, this is not look. And then, boom, what'd they finish with? 31 points, winning at 31-17.
Yeah, in the first half, Hokie and I said, you know, this is not the game everybody expected. Right. Everybody expected a track meet, back and forth, a lot of scoring, and it's 10-6 at halftime, and the Saints have only 2 field goals, but they put it in gear in the second half. And I'm thinking of all the national pundits who picked against the Saints, and I think the majority of them did. And I had the world's greatest respect for Tony Dungy, the former Indianapolis Colts coach, but he provided some bulletin board material this week by saying this game will not be close. The Colts are going to win this game, and this is going to be a runaway. There's no way the Saints can stay with the Indianapolis Colts. Well, he was one of many pundits proven wrong, happily so for the New Orleans Saints.
And because of what this team has gone through, and you think of the defense, the much maligned defense, it's had its issues in the last few years, to come back in the last few weeks with the Vikings, an interception that really sealed it, that could have been a field goal for the Vikings, and then an interception by Tracy Porter tonight, that speaks volumes for this defense.
Yeah, you got the feeling somebody's got to make a play, and this defense throughout the season has made plays, not just getting a turnover, but putting it in the end zone when they did, and that was the clinching kill shot tonight that Tracy Porter provided with that 70-yard return of the interception for the touchdown. So it's just been a magical 2 weeks. It's been a magical season, and as I look back on this night, I think it's one of the most special I will ever have in my entire life.
The most popular question all week was, do you believe it? Every fan would say, do you believe we're here? And it is still, I mean, the game's been over a couple hours. It's still a very surreal event.
It is, and I think everybody around here is saying the same thing. Wait a second. Were we in the Super Bowl? Right. And did we win the Super Bowl? Am I dreaming all this? And the dream on, New Orleans, dream on, because next year, every place that the Saints go into, they will go into as the world champions of professional football. A team not to be laughed at any longer, but to be feared. Oh, my God, it's the Saints this week, when it used to be, thank goodness it's the Saints on the schedule this week. Things have changed so dramatically.
It is an off season like we've never had before, thank you, Jim, because, again, if you think back, it was 2005 that no matter where you lived, no matter how much money you made, 2005 taught us that it was okay to cry. 2006, when the Saints returned to the Superdome, taught us once again that it was okay to cheer again. And in 2009 and in 2010, that it's okay to dream again, because sometimes dreams come true. Tonight they did for the New Orleans Saints, winning Super Bowl 44. Dennis and Angela?
Wow.
Beautifully said.
Absolutely.
You just captured the whole moment.
Tremendous. And Begad and Maya are at Bourbon Street, where a lot of people are capturing the moment, celebrating. And Maya, Begad, what's it looking like now?
Hey again, guys. Well, it is just as packed as it has been for the last couple of hours. But what I think is so amazing, and just we want to let viewers know at home, that the crowd behind us is only about a quarter or so of the crowd actually on Bourbon Street. If you take the crowd right here, more than double it. There's actually a lot more on the other side, stretching all the way down. It's really just an amazing sight. I know, Maya, you're just back from walking down Bourbon.
You know, in Mardi Gras, usually there's a little bit of a break within the crowd, you know, along some of the side streets. You'll see like a little bit of an emptiness, if you will. But here it is just solid. It is just a solid wall of people. It's almost like the Great Wall of people on Bourbon. It is just absolutely packed down there. And I don't see how this is lessening. I actually think there's even more people than there were when I first got here about an hour and a half ago.
And just from talking to people, I think for what makes this so special for so many is that a lot of these people here are actually locals, people who live only a couple miles away but wanted to be so close to the action that they got a hotel room. So you have people who live in other parts of New Orleans, in Metairie, on the North Shore.
Yeah, you know, we were down there in the crowd and we spoke to a couple people, like you mentioned, from the metro area, from St. Rose, from Metairie, from Kenner, that are here just trying to soak up all of the atmosphere that goes along with living in a city where your football team are the Super Bowl champs. I mean, this is unbelievable here, and I think people just want to be a part of this historic night, and what better place to do that, I think, is what people are thinking, than to come out to Bourbon Street, where so many of these fans are gathering.
And I had a chance to walk down just a little bit during the game and actually talk to people watching the game. And what's so interesting is that so many people watching the game aren't necessarily football fans. And they, but there's just something about being a fan of the Saints. So much, I think, is being a fan of the city and just watching it become just a huge part of our recovery and rebirth. And for so many people, I think this was a win for New Orleans.
And I think that's something that so many people around the country also were feeling. I'll tell you what, my parents, not the biggest football fans out there, but they were watching the Super Bowl tonight and they were pulling for the Saints. So I think you're right. This has a way of being more than just being fans of football. It's more like you're fans of the city, of the recovery, of everything that has happened here since 2005. This is really just an incredible moment. And I think so many people, not just here in New Orleans, but around the country, want to be a part of that and just kind of reach out and touch that part of history, I think.
And I think so many people, repeatedly, as it was realized that we were going to go to the playoffs and then we were going to go to the Super Bowl, the question was repeatedly asked, how can you not be a fan of the Saints? And it's funny, you mentioned your parents. My mom called me a couple of minutes ago, and when I answered, she said, "Who dat? Who dat?" My mom's not a football fan, but she's a fan of the Saints. And I think, again, so much of being a fan of the Saints is just having that passion for New Orleans. And if you've been here once or if you've been here a slew of times, part of that charm, I think, has to stay with you, and it's just impossible not to want to be part of that.
I think that charm has wormed its way into both of our hearts and to pretty much everyone that's here right now. So we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks a lot, Maya and Begad.
Something they just said about people all over wanting to be a part of this. In reality, think of the hundreds of thousands of people who have come to this city to help us rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
Who have spent
Absolutely.
a week, spent 2 weeks, some who have actually moved here. They wanted to be a part of that too.
Yeah.
So this is just the natural movement.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that makes this even sweeter is that the Saints were the underdog tonight.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in New Orleans feel like we have been the underdogs. And this triumph it's so much sweeter to overcome.
We are world champions.
World champions. We'll be back after this break.
There's nothing more important than fans, and Omni Bank has a lot of them. In a recent survey, customers used the same words over and over to describe their Omni experience. Words like friendly, personal, professional, courteous. I could go on, but let me tell you, it's experiences like these that make Omni a winning play. If you want a trusted tradition in banking where the difference is service, then join my team here at Omni Bank. I know I'm a big fan.
When 4 investigates, a team of reporters and researchers will stop at nothing to expose corruption, save your tax dollars, and bring about positive change. So watch When 4 investigates only on WWL-TV Channel 4.
In the blink of an eye, events unfold across our city and our state. And no one covers breaking news better than Channel 4. WWL-TV's dedicated journalists get you the facts first and get the facts right. You see, Eyewitness News is more than a name, it's a promise. It's a promise to put more camera crews in the field, to dedicate more resources to keep you informed. Whether it's on air or online, for breaking news, watch WWL-TV, Channel 4, Louisiana's news leader.
In Louisiana, we're accustomed to saints' lives of service and sacrifice. This year, a long-suffering team, born on All Saints' Day, has in a small way emulated these traits.
Because of the way they've played and because they're really good guys, they've made Saints fans of those around the Gulf South, around the country, even around the world.
They in turn have been blessed with a Super Bowl victory. To the Bless You Boys, we'd like to say thank you, boys, from Channel 4.
They don't want to go home.
No, they don't want to go home, and they don't have to go home. And we can all be here until next Tuesday night.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our live coverage of the Who Dat Nation celebrating the world champion New Orleans Saints.
It happened. It actually happened, and we are absolutely thrilled. As are every single member of that team. And Juan Kincaid caught up with one of the big guys, Jon Stinchcomb.
Good.
Jon Stinchcomb, this was pro Saints in this stadium tonight, pro Saints in this city for the last 2 weeks. Tell me what it felt like playing in front of this crowd that was pro Saints.
Well, this whole year we've been truly blessed, and to have the support of the city and that whole region this entire time, you know, this wasn't just a team win. This whole city won today, and just to be a part of that, and it feels so special. You know that it's a blessing and more lives than just the guys in this locker room.
It took about a couple quarters for this offense to start really get rolling. Once they got that one long drive, even though it ended in a field goal, it kind of got the offense woke up a little bit, didn't it?
Well, Indianapolis didn't cheat their way in getting here. I mean, they're a tremendous team. Two of the best defensive ends in this league play on their side. So it's one of those heavyweight bouts where you just got to keep swinging. And sooner or later, the momentum got on our side, and we were able to make some plays. And anytime you got Drew Brees on your team, you know, special things are possible.
That was a lot of the talk this week. Could this team's offensive line hold up against two premier defensive ends in the NFL? And for the most part, I'd say absolutely. I mean, you guys started running downhill late second half.
Well, we came in with a plan that wouldn't really put us in bad situations. I mean, there are times where you just have to bow up and make plays, and you know, that's the nature of the beast. But against guys like that, you're probably not going to win every time. But if you get beat, you gotta get right back in there, and not let one play turn into two or three. So. Two great defensive ends. You got a lot of respect for them, and you just got to go out there and make them beat your best.
One last thing. In 2006, this team makes a surprising run in the NFC Championship game. They take 2 steps backwards the next 2 years, not making the playoffs. How much do you think having to learn that it doesn't come easy, it doesn't come automatic, is the reason why you guys won this time?
I think it really factored in. Winning is tough to do in this league, and to play at a high level, it takes a special commitment and something that these guys in this locker room had been willing to make. Obviously, those 2 years were wake-up calls that nobody's just going to hand us keys to the playoffs or a Super Bowl. So this was hard work that earned this opportunity to feel this, and you know, once again, truly blessed, man, truly blessed.
And you can see it in his face. He's savoring every moment of this as well. Drew Brees was the MVP tonight. Absolutely should be.
But lots of outstanding players on that team.
Tremendous. And we are going to hear from the guy who caught that ball and ran that interception.
Boy, that's when things really turned around.
Right after this.
Mail your gold jewelry to a company out of town?
I don't think so.
Selling gold jewelry comes down to one thing. Who gives the most cash?
Private appointments are welcome.
No one gives you more money for your gold. So come to BJ's
and get paid in cash.
iMasters believes expectations are for raising, so how about 2 complete pair of glasses for $99 or 2 pair of no-line bifocals for $149? And every frame, even designers, are just $59.95. iMasters, why pay more?
Hi, this is Holly. And I'm Heather with H2O Salon and Spa.
This Valentine's Day, give the gift of passion and pleasure. Affordable luxury starting at just $25. A manicure, pedicure, facial. Massage for men and women. Indulge, relax, and unwind. H2O Salon and Spa, Metairie Road and Mandeville, where beauty and body are one.
H2O Valentine gift cards, available in store and online.
My attorney, Bernie, thinks he knows a lot about football. Bernie, who's the greatest running back in Saints history?
That's easy, Deuce. Hokie Gajan.
You better stick to law, Bernie. Call my attorney, Bernie, at 888-4BERNEY. That's 888-4BERNEY.
Impressed with my attorney, Bernie.
And don't forget the EY.
Sir, finding everything okay?
I work for a different insurance company. My auto policy is just getting a little too expensive.
With Progressive, you get the name your price option, so we build a policy to fit your budget.
Wow, the price gun. I wish we had this. We just tell people what to pay.
Yeah, we're the only ones that do.
I love your insurance. Bill? Tom?
Hey, Hey, it's an office party. The freedom to name your price, only from Progressive. Call or click today.
You've seen the pictures of people jammed onto Bourbon Street, and as you can imagine, there's gridlock traffic all over the place. Here's a look at traffic on Rampart Street, and people are not going anywhere very fast tonight. A lot of cars out there. I know before we came up to the studio, people were driving around honking their horns any way they could to express their ecstasy over this.
Well, the bottom line is nobody's going to work tomorrow, nobody's going to school tomorrow.
Look at
and we
this.
might as well party. This is fabulous.
This is like the end of war. This is one of the most incredible celebrations
Look
this
at
city's
that.
ever had.
And nobody cares that they're jammed. This is our moment. We have waited a long time for it.
And as you suggest, they're not worried about getting up early tomorrow because they're probably not getting up early tomorrow.
No. But you know, there was a very special play. I mean, the whole game was wonderful. The second half better than the first, but that very special play.
The interception.
When Tracy Porter got that ball and ran. And here are his thoughts.
I mean, what we've been saying all year, we need to make a play. We've been saying that coming in to this game that somebody on defense had to make a play. We knew our offense was going to make plays. We knew they were going to get in their rhythm, but we knew we had to make a play, and it was going to come on someone. And it happened to come on me. And, you know, with the film study, knowing what type of routes they like to run on third down, I jumped the route.
What was the route?
It was a stick route. You know, he wanted to wide deploy to try to out-leverage the corner and come back underneath. But, you know, I stayed where I was supposed to be. I was in the right place at the right time and made the break.
And when you made the break, you picked it off, took it to the house. What are you thinking? Don't fumble the ball?
Nah, I was thinking score. Fumbling didn't even cross my mind because as much ball security as we notice on opposing players, I think our defensive players, we have pretty good ball security, so that wasn't the issue. It was just a matter of getting in the end zone.
Thought it was ball game at that point?
Not at that point. Once we got inside of 2 minutes, that really solidified it. Then I thought, you know, we're the world champions.
How's that feel? New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions.
Great, well-deserving. It couldn't have happened to a better team, and we're enjoying the moment right now.
What's the mentality?
That's where everybody lost their voice.
Oh, absolutely. People were screaming, and I love the part where he was going like this. He's
Yes,
going all the way,
he
and the guy
knew.
behind him didn't stand a chance. Could
Not
not
at
catch up
all.
with him. No way. Another outstanding player tonight, offensive guard Jermon Bushrod. Here's what he had to say after the game.
Everyone's a little concerned about what Freeney would do. He gets the one sack early, but you guys shut him down after that and really took control of the game.
You know, we just had to stick to the plan, man. We had to stick to the plan like we do every week, man, and just try to get the job done. That's all you can do. And you know, we came away with a huge victory. You know.
The offense always gets so much credit for this football team, but in the playoffs, this defense has really...
Defense has stepped out all year, and they just played even harder, just like we played even harder. You know, come playoff time, man, we all just stuck together. That's all you can do is stick together, man. We stuck together, and look where we are, man. We're in Miami, Super Bowl champs.
There's a belief within this football team in there, unlike there's ever been in the past.
Excuse me?
There's a belief in this football team in there.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, from day one, we knew we could do it. We knew the type of team that we had, and we went out here and we did it, man. We did it. That's all you can say is we did it. We went out here and we fought since day one.
Every guy on that field had a great moment.
Oh, absolutely.
This was exceptional, but Lance Moore had one.
Yeah, receiver Lance Moore. You know, after that touchdown in the fourth quarter, the Saints decided to go for it to get 2 points. And Lance Moore got in there, and the official said, no, didn't make it.
That's right.
And there was a challenge, and it held up, so we got the 2 points. So we were 14 points ahead. That was big.
It was beautiful.
Here's what Lance Moore had to say after the game.
You guys have always found a way to make it happen with this football team. There's something about this season in there.
Feels like destiny, man. Feels like we were meant to do this right now, and you know, the city definitely deserves this.
Tracy Porter steps in once again, biggest interception of the season, and it was 2 weeks ago, like against the Vikings. Tell me what this defense has done this year to make this team so successful.
Oh, the defense has played awesome. They played unbelievably, man. Greg Williams has a great scheme. We got great players all over the place over there, and we needed one play at that point, and we got it.
One word sums up this season, belief, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Super Bowl champions.
Sounds great. Who that, baby? See you soon.
One last thing. This was a home game for you, wasn't it? I mean, there were 74,000 fans here. I think about 50 of them were Saints.
Oh, man, it felt like it. It felt like it. We have the best fans in the world, man. I would never want to play anywhere else because it's just so great here.
And you know what he did? He went right back to that locker room. He got cleaned up. He put his robe on. We
they all got
want
those
robes.
with the fleur-de-lis, I know. Another outstanding player tonight, Roman Harper, had 7 tackles. Here's what he had to say.
I don't even know, man. Just, it feels so good, man. And it's almost surreal, man. It's just, I don't know, man. It's still settling in.
Every game this year, this team has found a way to win it late with its defense. And Tracy has the pick last week, has the pick again and 2 weeks later.
Man, you know, it just, you know, we always knew it was going to be on our shoulders. And if we lost this game, everybody was going to point and blame the defense. And instead, we came out here and we took it when it really mattered. Made some adjustments early after they had some success. And shut them down, man, and made a big play at the end of the game, man. Tip my hat off to Tracy, man. He saw it and he jumped it, took it to the house.
The opportunity to persevere once again for this football team. It's what you guys have done all year long.
Yeah, man, we went into the halftime. We were confident. We knew that we had took some of their best shots. We just had to settle down, man, and go out here and make some plays and just go out here and take it, man. We've been in some adverse situations before, even in this stadium, and we just got to stick together. And at the end of the day, man, we got everybody behind us, and we never stopped believing for 1 second.
This felt like a home game, didn't it?
It was beautiful, man. You see all the nation here, man. The Who-Dats are here in the building, man. It's so beautiful right now.
You know, the adrenaline has to be palpable.
Some of those hits, some of those tackles,
unbelievable.
Man, really hard.
We'll be right back.
Mail your gold jewelry to a company out of town?
I don't think so.
Selling gold jewelry comes down to one thing. Who gives the most cash?
Private appointments are welcome.
No one gives you more money for your gold. So come to BJ's
and get paid in cash.
The new Hyundai Tucson, as in all new. Not the same old new, not the kind of new that's just a minor revision of last year's new. No, the new Tucson is new. Like, what kind of car is that new? With the kind of styling you'd expect from a high-end SUV, at a price you wouldn't expect to pay for a new one.
iMasters believes expectations are for raising, so how about 2 complete pair of glasses for $99, or 2 pair of no-line bifocals for $149, and every frame, even designers, are just $59.95. iMasters, why pay more?
In Louisiana, we're accustomed to saints' lives of service and sacrifice. This year, a long-suffering team, born on All Saints' Day, has in a small way emulated these traits.
Because of the way they've played and because they're really good guys, they've made Saints fans of those around the Gulf South, around the country, even around the world.
They in turn have been blessed with a Super Bowl victory. To the Bless You Boys, we'd like to say thank you, boys, from Channel 4.
First of all, I think being a meteorologist in general, you have to be somewhat of a nerd. And I care about the weather. I love dealing with new technology. And I like being able to use both of those things to put together a good forecast for the viewer.
For Channel 4's newest meteorologist, serving the community is the greatest reward.
I think the most rewarding thing would be when people, you come up to you on the street, they say like, oh, I followed your forecast.
Scott Satchfield is at Lucy's Bar in the Warehouse District where people are still celebrating. Huh, Scott?
Oh, it's the party is definitely still going here in the Warehouse District. Actually standing on Chapatula Street, which is still blocked off where I'm standing, and you can see the folks are still having a great time. The party has really been going since the early afternoon hours, and gosh, I don't know when it will ever stop. Based on what we're seeing here, fans having a great time. Obviously, some of the beverages have been flowing, but people seem to be, behaving themselves as best they can. Basically, again, officers have shut down this part of Chapatoulas. They're kind of rerouting traffic around where we are, and so no telling when they'll actually open up this part of Chapatoulas. There's still a steady stream of cars, as far as I can see, down towards the French Quarter. And basically the way it went was, when the game ended, we saw folks coming from this direction, which is towards Uptown, towards the French Quarter. Literally, people just coming in droves down the street. Obviously, they were heading to the quarter. And then in the last few minutes, they've all kind of started heading back that way. So maybe this night will end soon for these folks, but obviously for now, they're relishing the moment and having a great time after this amazing Saints Super Bowl win. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right,
And that
Scott.
is the bottom line right there. Relish the moment.
Relish the moment. I don't think it's going to be ending anytime soon, though. I think
No.
this is going to be going on for hours.
I think so, and I think we're going to go back to Bourbon Street with Bagad and Maya.
Dennis and Angela, the Hoodats are just as loud and the black and gold just as notable. Things don't seem to be letting up at all here on Bourbon Street. The crowd just goes on. Canal Street is actually in the distance. It's hard to tell, though, with all the supporters and the Saints fans just continuing to dance through the streets, celebrate, and really embrace this win that's been 43 years in the making. Hard to tell when this party will end, but I think it's fair to say it won't be anytime soon. Immediately after the win tonight, supporters, Saints fans, Hoodats alike, just ran into the streets, dancing, second lining, and embracing what has not only become a win for the Saints, but a win for New Orleans. Dennis and Angela.
Okay, thank you so much, Bagad, for a wonderful job.
Yeah, great job out there, and great to see people celebrating. They have something to celebrate
Yes.
like this.
You know,
Now-
I was just going to say, earlier tonight, one of the players said that Sean Payton made them all better players
Yes.
and all better men. And I think the Saints team has made this city a better city.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And given us a reason to think we're better people. you know.
Absolutely.
One more thing we want to remind you of, the Saints will have a news conference tomorrow morning. We're going to carry that live on our morning news, so you may want to tune in to check that out.
That's right. Maybe find out when they're coming back, and the party continues.
Absolutely. That's our broadcast for now. Congratulations. We're world champions.
Yes, we are. We are world champions.
Have a good night.
First of all, I think